What's up, Darkalicious? My name is Lydia.
Yeah, I'm gonna G.
And today we're gonna be...
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about Star Trek Picard Season 2. Season 2. And we just watched episode 10, so we're gonna be talking about episode 10. So spoilers if you haven't watched the conclusion of the season. We're going to be talking about the entire season, so spoilers across the board. You've been warned. I assume you're here because you want to hear discussion about about the season, and that's what we're going to be doing here is kind of stepping through the season, talking about our thoughts with the season, and then the overall picture of where Star Trek Picard as a whole stands now. Right. Yep. So before we get into any kind of like lengthy discussion, we're going to step through the points of what the story of season 2 was really about. We're just going to summarize kind of quickly as possible what the heck happened in season 2, because a lot happened, but also nothing really happened.
Yes.
A lot of it involves time travel, and it's kind of secular. So, yeah, why don't we just jump into it? Lydia, you can kind of take us through the first point here.
Okay, so picture this. Picard rejects romance with Laris, his space maid.
His space maid, she's Romulan.
So her husband just died, so good time for Picard to step in.
Perfect timing for Picard. I guess he died some point between season 1 and 2. I swear he was alive at the end of season 2. At least I thought he was.
Looks pretty healthy to me.
Well, I don't know. He could have died. He got some kind of space disease and died off screen.
Yeah. So
okay, so point 2, Picard gives a speech to cadets at Starfleet headquarters. He's now an admiral, by the way. Admiral Picard.
Yep. Exactly.
Jean Luc Picard gives a speech, and Elnor is joining Starfleet as the first Romulan that is part of Starfleet. Exciting times, I guess.
Because Raffi guilted him into it.
Yes.
Nice. Real good. Anyways, Elnor and Raffi are in a mother-son relationship, but it never really is shown why or how.
Yes. There is literally nothing. I don't know why. There's this... First of all, Raffi, I think, is my least favorite character of the entire cast. All right? I just don't think that lady is a very good actress, although I don't think Agnes is a very good actress
They're
either.
all bad.
They're all bad, yeah.
Except, I mean...
Seven's okay.
Seven's good, and obviously Picard is good, but, like, I don't know, man. It just...
I don't know if it's the material or if they're just not good actors.
The writing just sucks. But we'll get into it later, but, I mean, through our points, you will understand how the writing sucks, so I guess we'll just continue on there. So Picard goes to see Guinan, and she's like, why no love life, my guy?
Yeah, what are you running away from? Look up to the stars.
That's what the tits are.
Yeah, come on. Why did you run away to space and not have a relationship here on Earth or wherever? Come on, Picard. Even though, totally, if you look into Jean Luc Picard, he was married to Beverly Crusher in the movies after the end of TNG season 7. And in that time frame where it's the movies before what was the last movie? Nemesis? Star Trek Nemesis. He's married to Beverly, and then he divorces Beverly. And by the end, he's single again, right? But he was married, not to mention he has many relationships with women throughout Star Trek TNG.
Yes.
Multiple relationships with different women.
Yeah.
Including the episode where Q is there, and they're like on some
like the architect thing, and then he's just like, yeah, I like her too, I'm just gonna make her a space being, and she's like, sorry, Picard, bye.
Yeah, peace out, Picard. Thanks for playing was it Robin Hood? Was it where they were Robin Hood and he had to save Maid Marian?
I am not a merry man.
I am not a merry man. I protest.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's move on to our next point. The Borg Queen appears in space and she wants peace. The Borg Queen is like, yo, I know I killed billions and billions of people, but let's have peace, guys. And I swear to God, the previous season 1, they were talking like the Borg just didn't exist anymore. Like, didn't they have a Borg cube?
And then they were like
it's derelict Borg cube, and the Borg are basically gone and don't exist anymore, and this is like a remnant of their species. Am I wrong?
No, yeah, that's when like the a probable age 37 months.
Yeah,
probably.
yeah.
You're like, shut up. Anyways, okay. So the Borg Queen is like, I am only talk to Picard. So then Picard has to board the Stargazer.
Yes. Picard boards the Stargazer, and this is the part of the show where you feel like this is Star Trek. This is Star Trek.
Feels Star Trek-y.
They're on the bridge of the Stargazer with Rios. He's the captain. He has a cigar for some reason, even though in that day and age, definitely they would no longer smoke because, hey, it's the 24th century or something?
Secondhand smoke, cancer, but,
yeah,
blah, la, 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 la.
Yeah, it makes
him look cool, la, la,
It could
la.
be like a hollow cigars, just so he looks cool, okay?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Okay, so next, the Stargazer arrives at where the Borg ship looks like a giant Vagoo that opens like this.
It's like, why?
It's a space Vagoo, okay? And it opens up like
and
this.
It has like arms on it.
It has like some arms like this. It's like, oh.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways.
So, what was it? The Borg forcefully beam their queen onto the Stargazer.
And they're like, no, don't do that. And they're
Don't
like,
do
no.
that. Don't do that, Borg. Even though you could just simply explain yourself, because if you're looking for peace, you're going about it in the exact wrong way by forcefully trying to beam yourself.
Aggressive.
Yeah. We want peace through force.
Yeah, maybe not writing. Okay. Anyways, so then, so the Borg, she beams onto the Stargazer, and then she attacks the crew and drains energy for no reason at all.
No reason, no explained reason. She says, we want peace, but first we need energy. Starts shooting out her tentacles into all of the computers. Everyone's freaking out, and they're like, oh my god, she's assimilating the ship. She's gonna gain control of the whole fleet.
And then, like, everyone's, like, fucking, like...
And they're all unloading.
It's so
and Rios
stupid.
is like, yo, stop shooting. And they're like, fuck that guy. I don't care what the captain says. Pa, 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 pa.
Yeah, it's so dumb. It's so dumb.
It's really, it's something. Anyways, so then what happens, Lydia?
So then, but they're like, no, she's the Borg Queen's, like, defending herself, but she's just stunning people, guys.
Yes.
She's, like, super nice now.
She's a super nice queen. She's just stunning them.
You. So, anyways, so then Picard's like, oh shit, things are getting a bit hairy. I'm going to self-destruct the Stargazer because he has orders to.
Yeah, so like every time that anybody encounters the Borg, it usually ends up with a self-destruct sequence, right? I swear to God, there have been multiple times where the Enterprise was like, enter self-destruct mode when they encountered the Borg. Anyways, let's move on to...
I will say one thing really quickly, though. I'm very disappointed that they haven't used the computer's voice from all
the original
Star Treks. Like, why? Like, you have that asset. Why wouldn't you use it?
It was a little better, though. The Stargazer ship definitely gave you Star Trek-y vibes.
Yeah.
Like, the computer interfaces were like they were like modernized versions of what you saw in TNG. And you're like, okay, they really nailed it here in episode 1 of like the interface. You know that interface with like the curves and the shapes? It's called LCARS or something. That's the operating system, the made up operating system. But essentially it's that look to the screens, right?
Yeah.
They definitely nail that. Anyways, Picard self-destructs the Stargazer. And then he wakes up, even though, if he was self-destructing, he would have been killed. Yeah. But anyways, he wakes up from the self-destruct at Chateau Picard.
How convenient. And guess who's there? It's Q!
Yeah.
Q appears and everyone is happy for a moment. And I can say I was also very happy.
I liked Q. I liked that scene where he appears and he's like, oh dear, you're quite old. And then he was like, psh, snaps his fingers like, okay, now we at least look the same.
That was so good. But don't get it too excited because Q is a lot more angry and depressed than his jovial self.
Yes, he's no longer in mariachi bands or, playing Robin Hood or any of those other wacky things he usually does.
Yeah, I love the Q.
Q is great. Now he's angry.
Yeah.
Q is angry and he talks like this.
Yes.
You don't understand what you're doing, Picard.
I'm so
you want forgiveness, don't you, Picard? Forgiveness for what?
What?
I think you know.
Yes.
Anyways, Q explains they're in an alternate timeline where the Federation is now the Confederation.
The Confederation is totalitarian.
Yes, they are a totalitarian dictatorship. We need to, learn about these things because we don't know about the dangers of dictatorships.
Yes.
So we are immediately taken out of anything that resembles
Star Trek at all.
And now we are in some totalitarian dictatorship, alternate reality where everyone wears black leather they're all gonna, I don't know.
I'm so evil.
The Confederation's into conquering instead of through
learning and
understanding, right? Because the Federation is about understanding each other. This is about conquering. And Picard sees like videos of like himself being like, you could be the next conqueror.
Yeah.
Something like that, like, right? Yeah. I think. I can't remember everything, but...
So then anyways, everyone is conveniently still alive in this alternate timeline, and luckily they're all on Earth.
Yes.
Convenient.
Even the Romulan guy, Elnor, who is from
a different planet.
He spawns, I guess. I don't know what happens, but he appears on Earth, and his first scene, he's already on the run from the human, I guess, evil humans is the Confederation, and then Raffi takes him in as a prisoner. Right? Even though that's Raffi fakes that she's part of the Confederation, even though she's Raffi from the other universe.
Yes.
And Raffi arrests Elnor to protect him.
Yes. So then the crew of Raffi, Elnor, Rio, Seven, Agnes, and Picard all meet up. Super convenient. So then, and then Picard's like this, like, I think it's like a general or something.
He's a war general.
Yeah. And then everyone loves him. They're like, oh my God, you're so sexy.
General Picard.
People. Yeah. So anyway, so Picard is supposed to execute the last Borg queen, which is the queen that we all know.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. In this timeline, it's still the same queen, yeah.
Yeah, and then Seven's also like the president.
Seven is the president for reasons, and she doesn't have her Borg implants anymore because history was changed, and so her family never went to the Delta Quadrant. I can't remember exactly why her family ended up in the Delta Quadrant, but in Voyager, her family was in the Delta Quadrant and were assimilated. Very traumatic for her. Anyways, Picard and Seven are at the execution, and they are trying to stall for time so that Rios can beam them up to the La Sirena. I think it's is it La Serena or La Sirena? I think it's La Sirena.
Oh, no. So he's just doing the whole like, come in, yeah,
cheer, guys, cheer,
look at me. And everyone's like,
and it works for about 5 seconds, and then people are like, why doesn't he just shoot?
Yeah.
It's been like 20 minutes of like,
yeah, it was so dumb. Oh my God. Okay. Anyways,
I think there's like some karate scene where Elnor's like fighting a bunch of dudes to try to like take over a computer so that Rios can beam them onto La Sirena.
Yeah. It's, oh my God. Okay, and Picard and such beam off the Earth to La Sirena, and then Picard rescues the Borg Queen during an escape sequence.
Yes, so even though Picard and everyone else knows how bad the Borg Queen is, they still rescue her because he has those idealistic values of preserving life at any stakes, even though that would be the worst idea ever. You're already stuck in some alternate timeline. Let's bring the Borg Queen along.
Might as well. Shit's already bad, so might as well make it worse. So then the evil dudes board La Sirena but are killed because they are vaporized.
Yes. I guess they're sus of... The husband of Seven starts getting sus.
Yes.
And he beams aboard the ship, and he's gonna hold them at like for hostage or at gunpoint, right? And then they get a hold of the vaporizer guns, which are not phasers, because phasers have like the stun ability. I think they're called. What do the Romulans use? I can't remember, but they vaporize people rather than just like zap them and be like, oh, that hurt.
Yeah.
You know how in the they shoot them and it like radiate a little red. It's like I got a red on me. Oh,
I know, right?
It hurt.
So dumb. So then Elnor ends up dying for reasons.
Oh, he gets shot. He gets shot in the attack.
Yeah, and for some reason there are no med kits on this ship at all.
Yes, none.
None. No medical.
Even if you want to say it's a military ship in this alternate timeline, they would still have medical equipment to treat their soldiers.
Yeah.
But there's no med kits, no nothing on the ship.
So
Picard and crew find out that they need to go back in time to change an event in history in 2024. This is the same year as the Bell riots that take place in an episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. That's it. With Captain Sisko. Anyways, they have to go back to 2024 because it's cheaper to film in 2022 on the streets of LA.
Why not?
Why not, right? We don't need build any technical tech sets or sci-fi anything. Let's just film down the road.
Boo.
Let's just go outside and start filming.
So stupid. So TNG at least had so many different sets. So couldn't they just use any of those? You know, the holodeck.
Even stuff the hallways in Trek. They only had one hallway. They just kept filming it from different angles, so it seemed like the ship was huge.
Yeah.
And they were running through all these hallways. They were just running down the same hallway from a different angle, right?
Yeah, of course. It's just this, the writing, the filming, it was all yikes. But okay, let's get into it. All right.
We'll get to that.
Okay, so the Borg Queen helps them slingshot around the sun to go back in time.
Yes.
Excellent.
If it was that easy, I don't know why they don't do it more often.
Apollo 11.
Anytime anything goes bad, just slingshot around that sun.
Fuck it. Yeah. And so
the crew arrives in 2024, and they go about searching for answers.
Yes.
They need to find the Watcher.
Yes. So the crew leaves the Borg Queen alone with Agnes for reasons.
Yes. For reasons, there's literally no explanations. Let's take the person who is timid, lonely, and definitely susceptible to the Borg Queen and leave her alone with the Borg Queen.
Yeah.
Good idea. Good idea, guys.
Excellent. So then Rios gets teleported into midair and becomes injured. Then he goes to a hospital, but it's not a real hospital, it's a clinic.
It's a clinic. It's a clinic for injured immigrants?
With no medical insurance.
Yes. Then
the hospital gets raided by ICE for political message reasons.
Yeah.
Because don't you know that ICE
is bad, guys. ICE is bad.
Racism bad.
Racism's bad. It's guys, we know. We're also not all American and can relate to your message of your border issues, right? We're Canadian. We only know of it through the news, right?
Yeah.
That they have issues with Mexican migrants coming into the southern border of the United States. We're not from the States. It doesn't really resonate with us other than racism bad.
We know racism bad.
Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that. And anyone who doesn't kind of line up with those kind of views are not the people who watch Trek.
Yeah.
So these political messages, while you're trying to push them and we agree with them, it's you're preaching to the choir.
You know what would really work? An allegory instead of saying actual "this is happening." We know.
Did you know that there's racism? That ICE is a thing and that they're bad? That they lock Rios up in jail, they abuse him, and he gets deported.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, Jesus Christ,
we get it.
We get it. You don't have to beat us over the head with it. We all know racism bad.
This is real life. I get it. Oh my God.
Use an allegory, please.
Okay, and if you don't want an allegory, just look it up. All right. So Seven and Raffi rescue Rios from the deportation bus, and then
they use their tricorder to stall out the ship, or the bus. Yes, they stun the bus. The bus breaks down, and then they rescue Rios from being deported.
And then all the other Mexicans.
Yes, they're all free as well.
Yeah, which is great. And then Agnes mind hacks the Borg Queen to find out where the Watcher is. Not sure why the Borg Queen even knows this information.
Yes, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense because the Borg Queen is in the Delta Quadrant, okay? The Borg Queen that they have on the ship is from the Delta Quadrant. She was not on Earth in 2024 to know that there would be a Watcher there at the time of the launch of what was the mission called again? The Europa missions, right? So they know that there's a Watcher in 2024, which is why they had to come back to 2024 to find this Watcher to undo some event in 2024, which ends up being the Europa mission. How does the Queen even know any of this when the Queen is from the Delta Quadrant and was not on Earth in this era?
Because she hacked some computer that told her. I'm sure.
Okay.
She simulated an iPhone.
Hand wave it away.
Pretty much.
Reasons.
So Then Picard goes to 10 forward and meets a young Guinan.
Okay, now guys, let's talk about 10 forward for a second. Lydia, why was the bar in Star Trek Next Gen called 10 forward?
It was on the 10th floor, and it was facing forward. So you could see the stars coming towards you. It was a nice place to get drunk, meet some ladies, and this makes no sense why this is on Earth. Why it's even called 10 forward.
Why is it called 10 forward? It makes no sense. I'm getting a headache, guys.
And here's the thing. She would have known to call it 10 forward to attract Picard, but then she pretends that she doesn't know Picard.
She doesn't know Picard. She doesn't know him at all.
Yeah, so young Guinan is edgy and doesn't remember Picard from their adventures in the 1800s. Do you guys remember that episode?
Yes, when Data's head gets blown off and then they go to Earth in the future to the same site and they retrieve his head.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as, when Bender gets left in the past and then they retrieve his head they retrieve?
Yeah, the head, yeah.
Right? It's the same thing.
This TNG was so good because they had stupid episodes, but they also meant something. You know what I mean? Because Guinan was she's still she's not she's her species, right? Can be old, but and kind of go through different timelines and stuff.
Yes. They're not immortal.
No,
but they live for a very long time, 1,000 years. They're not like humans with a short lifespan.
Yeah, and she didn't look like Whoopi Goldberg at all. I didn't.
She didn't look like Whoopi Goldberg, so she wasn't. It wasn't that just that. You can not look like the character, but if you still nail all the mannerisms, then you're like, okay, she's portraying that character. It's just like the dude who played Captain Kirk in the movies.
Yeah.
It's he nailed all the mannerisms of Kirk. Yeah. So even though it's clearly not William Shatner, you're like, that's Kirk.
Right. Yeah. I just didn't get that at all. You know what I mean?
It was just some edgy edgelord who's I want to show you that I'm angry.
I'm pissed off with Earth. I'm leaving this place. I'm going to pack up my stuff.
I'm packing up my stuff and I'm leaving Earth.
But I've got to stay here and name my bar 10 forward for the potential that this old man will come, even though I don't know who you are, and I'm gonna be angry every time you come see me. Not oh, thank God, I can close the bar. Picard's finally fucking here. Hey, listen, buddy, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so then young Guinan guides Picard to find the Watcher.
The Watcher, who are these people whose job it is to make sure that this one person who's significant to the timeline is kept safe.
Yes.
So I'm not sure the exact explanation here, whether this is someone from the future who is sent back in time to protect this person. How would you know that they're important to the timeline unless you're from the future to begin with?
Unless you're told from someone from the future, be like, hey, this is
Make
your
sure
life's
this
goal
person,
now.
your life's goal, fake Laris, is to protect this person.
Yeah.
Right? Your life's goal is to protect this person because they're important to the timeline. Well, the only way you would know they're important to the timeline is if you're from the future. I maybe they did mention it, but if they did, I don't remember it at all.
Space telephone.
Yes.
So the Watcher is the exact duplicate of Laris. Her name is Talon. Because of budget and casting reasons, there is no one else in Hollywood. We
couldn't cast anyone else. You're back, Laris. Listen.
I know. It's just so dumb. Anyways.
We looked down the road. We saw there's no one walking down the street at that time. So Laris, you're also playing Talon.
I'll write you the check. So dumb. So then Talon is the Watcher for Renee Picard, which is Picard's ancestor who goes on the Europa mission.
Who is a lady,
yeah.
Even though he has a brother also named Renee Picard who dies in a fire.
Get it? It's yeah. All right, so Renee Picard is an F-rank astronaut who
she is an F-rank astronaut.
Is having trauma and cannot handle the idea of being an astronaut, but is going to be one anyway.
Yes.
So I don't know if you guys have ever seen actual training that these
for astronauts. It's very, very serious and diligent, and all the astronauts are very calm.
Yeah.
And they accept that the risks involved with space travel.
Yes.
And the dangers that are involved in even current present day astronauts that are yes, there is inherent risk in going to space. A ship might blow up on the launch pad, might blow up as it's trying to, go through max Q. There are so many potential risks involved, but they believe that the benefits outweigh the risks and that their life is worth risking for the furthering of humanity.
Exactly.
Right? This lady is super unstable. It would never get past even like the entry level tests of like, is she stable of mind? No. Nah. Okay, you're not.
Yeah, like I don't get this trope because even like they did it with Sandra Bullock too in that movie. You know, it's just like women women astronauts. Ooh, I can't handle stress. You're like, okay, like come the fuck on. Like women can handle stress. It's so dumb. They're just like, what is our feelings? Oh, like it's so stupid.
It's like you would never get on the mission.
Never.
Because your job. Okay, here's the thing. They train those astronauts to not panic. And that is the key thing. Don't panic. Even in the absolute most severe, like, I'm going to die, don't panic.
Yeah.
Right? It's the same with scuba divers. They train you that even if your swimming partner, you're 200 feet underwater, and your partner is, like, loses his mouthpiece, you're supposed to be like, I'm sorry, bud. I'm sorry, this is terrible, but I have to watch you die. Because if I try to grab you and shove the air thing in your mouth, good chance I'm going to die too. So it's like, you got to remain calm. And this lady is like a panic, like absolute panic. I guess. I don't know. Is that the right phrase?
I don't know. For scuba diving, they do have the back one too. But still, it's the thing is, you're supposed to be like, it's supposed to be like a calm thing. I'm not saying that I would be a shit astronaut. You know what I mean? Because I'd be like,
that's true.
I would be a totally shit astronaut. But these people are not. They're specialized people. You know what I mean? So it's just dumb that they're just like, oh, she's crazy because mental health runs in the family. Woo! Yeah. It's like, oh my god, so dumb. Anyway, so Q then approaches Adam Soong, who is exact duplicate of Noonien Soong and descendant for reasons. No one has any genetic variations in over 300 years.
Yeah. Apparently, I guess every Soong is just like a clone.
It's data.
It's just data for 300 plus years, right? Because it's like, guys, do you not know anything about like mating? It's like every time a Soong mated with someone,
a little bit would change.
A little bit of that other partner would come into play and change the genetic appearance of that generation of Soong. I guess his DNA is very dominant. It's just like that.
Don't tell Brent Spiner.
Brent Spiner. One day we're just gonna be all Brent Spiner.
Yeah.
The whole planet is just gonna be Brent Spiner.
Finally. Anyway, so then Q will give Soong a cure for his clone baby in exchange for taking out Rene Picard.
So Q will give the clone baby some
blue fluid,
blue vial that will make her not react to sunlight. I think
it's just Windex.
Yeah, drink this, you'll be good.
Okay, so then
Borg Queen lures a police officer to the ship.
Yeah.
So she can assimilate him or something. I don't know.
This part doesn't even make any fucking sense. But okay, so then Agnes kills the queen with the shotgun, but allows herself to be semi-assimilated.
Yes.
Because she'd be lonely.
Yes, she was lonely. That's what they said it a few times. You and I were the same because we're both lonely.
Yeah, because I'm sure that's what the Borg Queen.
The Borg Queen is really lonely. I guess she is now. You killed all of her friggin' drones.
This is how she assimilates people. She gets in your feels.
Through
like,
friendship.
Friendship.
Assimilation of friendship.
Yeah, it's brilliant. So then the crew goes to a space gala. Why is there a space gala just a few days before in quarantine or astronauts? Don't ask questions.
So it's like, okay, if you're gonna have a gala, you would have it months before a mission. Yeah, because it's like, guys, let's have a gala and then immediately go into quarantine 3 days before the mission. Because I'm pretty sure this all takes place like 3 days before mission, maybe even 2 days before the mission.
What if you got diarrhea
if you went to a gala, you're like, let's expose ourselves to everyone's germs, then go in the quarantine.
No, only rich people can attend this gala. Rich people don't have germs.
Okay.
It's just so
That's
dumb,
true.
I guess. But like you would think that like even if like the caterer like fucked up, you're like, I got diarrhea before space. Not a good idea. I mean, maybe they do have galas and we just don't know about it because we're like the lowly public.
Yeah, yes, us plebs do not know about the space galas.
I guess.
I'm sure they take place. I'm sure there are, galas to celebrate space missions. I'm sure they take place in a time frame that is separated from
it's
the mission.
A little bit odd, but okay.
There's also... Oh, never mind.
I mean,
let's just go on to our next point.
Okay. All right. So then Agnes must hack security to get the rest of the crew into the space gala. Yes. And she's wearing a lovely red dress with the cutout of her titties. And I don't like Agnes. I thought she was a really bad actress. I thought that was a really good dress, though. Yeah, I mean, I guess, but it's...
Hubba.
And it had to split up the legs. So in theory, you know what? The dress could have just done the whole thing. Like, didn't even need Agnes. Anyway, so, okay, so she hacks security to get into the space gala.
And she's got the Borg Queen in the back of her head, like, talking to her. And they're like equals at this point. And they're, like, sassing each other.
Yeah, they're so sassy.
They're like, we're so popular at this gala. And she's like, oh, it's just because of the dress. And the Queen's like, no, it's us.
So, oh my God. So, but the security team, they conveniently keep Agnes next to the security equipment.
Yes, they arrest her because they're like, this lady's so sus. They arrest her, but then they lock her in a room with them. And they're like 2 feet away from the security cameras.
From all the important equipment. Yes. Because that's where you're going to put a belligerent intruder.
Yeah. Someone broke in. Let's put them right beside the security cam so they can see everything.
Yeah. Not like, hey, let's call the police and put them in a holding over there. No, let's bring them inside, closer to where they want to be. Dumbass. So then Agnes is able to hack security system with a 24th century USB stick. Yeah. Wow.
I hate all these any movie where they're just like, yo, just plug in this USB stick. It's like, that's not usually how USB sticks work. I mean, I guess... You could probably install some program that auto-activates when you put in the USB stick, but it's such a lame way to show hacking. I guess it could be worse, and they could show, 3D, just like 3D random shits happening on screen. It's like, I'm going deeper into the computer, right? I guess, whatever.
It's still annoying. So then the crew does a very shitty job of being stealthy at the gala.
They do a shitty job. It's like they know all of them are intruders, right?
Yeah.
It's like every single one of them in a future episode, which we'll get to eventually. They're like, they have photos of everyone who was an intruder at the gala because it's like, okay, you guys were like the worst stealth team ever.
Yes,
right?
Exactly. So then don't worry, Agnes, who is,
She's broken out now
somehow.
Because Borg shit in her veins allows her extra strength to break the handcuffs on the chair.
Yes, that's right. So then she decides to sing at the gala to make a distraction for Picard.
Yes.
So she's like going down the staircase like, and you're just like, what the fuck is this? Like,
yes.
This is so dumb.
What is going on here, guys? I mean, there's been other singing and musical moments in Star Trek.
Yeah.
But like when Riker is part of a jazz band, he's playing the sax, or they have Data playing music, and Picard's like...
I know, but it makes
like
sense.
very bored.
I know. It makes sense to the story, but this is just dumb. This was just like... And then I heard also like the whole reason why this music scene ever even happened was because... Picard's real life wife.
His real life wife was the musician on stage before Agnes took over.
That's right. Yeah. Yes. So I'm just like, I guess if
they got a chance to plug her album.
Right. Exactly.
Buy her LP, now available on all music platforms.
I guess if I was him, I would probably do the same thing, but still annoying. Anyways, so then, she does. Agnes does a little song and dance, but the rush of endorphins allows the Borg Queen to assume control of Agnes. No clue why the nanoprobes now need endorphins when all previous simulations that we see in the Trek lore did not require this.
Yes. It's very confusing. Very, very confusing because we've seen the simulation multiple times in the past and it's never required. Wasn't like, yo, we need to do a song and dance. Hey.
So dumb.
This distraction allows Picard to speak to other Picard.
Rene Picard.
He gets to have his first Picard moment.
An actual...
in the show named Picard.
Yes. Like this, I liked this.
This moment, isolated, this moment is actually okay.
Sort of.
Because Picard kind of gives her like a little bit of a push of encouragement. Pep talk,
Yeah.
Of, in the darkest moments, I always look to the light.
Oh, the stars. I look to the stars, yeah.
Look up.
It's like, while this is the closest we got to actual Star Trek in a long time, it's also a bunch of hullabaloo. that he just blah, 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 blah. And you're just like...
There's a great example of it done by Red Letter Media. Yeah, where they're like, and I find that starlight is always the guiding beam in my life. It's just like, it just rambles on endlessly like an old, like an old man, right? Rambling on endlessly, and you're just like, jeez, like, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, if you at the end of the speech, you're like, okay, he said something profound, and now she's like, I'm gonna go through with I was just having panic attacks a minute ago, and I was about to text my Dr. Q that I'm gonna bail from the mission, but now that you've given me this random
security guard, thank you.
You've convinced me that now I'm gonna go through with the mission, even though, like, if you actually looked at what he was saying, you'd be like, what does any of this actually mean? Yeah. Right? The scene, when you leave the scene, you're like, okay, I get it. He delivered like a positive message. But if you really examine what he's saying, it's like he really said nothing at all. Yeah. Right? Anyways, the crew does, wait, we already did that. About
so then, so after, they talk to her and she's all set, then,
what's his face?
Soon comes back
with a vengeance. He wants to stop Picard. Yes. For reasons. Why does he not like Picard?
Okay. So the reason why he needs to stop Picard is because Q's like, I'm going to give you this vial of Windex.
Right. The vial. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to give you the cure if you can stop Picard.
So then, Soon gets in his car and he runs over Robo Picard. Because remember, he was a robot at the end of season 1?
I think the writers forgot.
Yeah, I think the writers forgot.
The writers forgot that it was Robo Picard because, like if Data got hit, the car would be what's damaged, not Data.
No, he wouldn't be like, ah.
There are so many scenes in TNG where like they hit Data and it's just like Data's like, what was that? Yeah. Meanwhile, like, there's like something dented around him or something. Yeah, it's just like, okay. The whole point was that Data is made of like titanium and all this shit, and it's like you can't. The car hitting it would be what was damaged, right?
Correct. It's just the car would be crumpled because it's made of aluminum.
Picard's mind was copy and pasted, Control C, Control V, into a robot's body made by the son of Noonien Sung, who made Picard. So his body would no doubt be made of a similar stuff, right? Where he's made of metal, or not metal, but like titanium or something, some really strong steel, right? Right. Anyways, Robo Picard gets hit
by a car. So then Rios takes Robo Picard to the rated clinic that his new girlfriend is at. Yes. When really he needs a space mechanic.
Yes, he needs a space mechanic. Just reboot him, try turning it on and off again.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
Flip the switch on his back near his pelvis, just like Data.
Right, exactly. So then Talon does a Vulcan mind meld with a robot.
Yes. How do you mind meld with a robot? It's like mind melding, get my PC and I'm just going to touch it. And I'm going to mind meld. I'm mind melding with you guys through the webcam here.
All right, this water bottle's got a lot to say. So stupid.
It's been through a lot.
I know. But since she's Romulan, she uses a little like doodad advice to achieve it. What?
Yeah. Because the Romulans aren't supposed to know the mind meld, right? It was a Vulcan skill. But since the Romulans are like an offshoot of the Vulcans, right? They're like a related species that I guess it sort of makes sense that they could sort of do a mind meld, but they use like a little goofy thing that's like, see, I'm clearly an alien. I'm not human. Yeah. Even though she tries to pass herself off as human at the start. Yes. Until later when she's like, actually, look, I was just hiding my ears. I'm actually...
Yeah. She was like, woo! You're like, oh, shit! So dumb. Yeah. Okay, so then Picard and Talon play Dungeons and Dragons in Picard's
Oh my god, this is so dumb! They're running around in his mind in some Dungeons and Dragons thing, and there's like monsters who are like, roar, like fucking double axe handling people.
So while I appreciate the goofiness of maybe they're trying to call back to the original.
I don't think so.
I don't think that was their intention. No. So dumb. So then the Latin doctor is sus of Rios.
Yes, this is Rios's new girlfriend, who they've become really close for no reason at all.
You're Mexican? I'm Mexican.
Yeah, me too. Listen. We're the same race. Therefore, we must be BFFs. But since you're a girl and I'm a guy, we're not BFFs. We're lovers now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just dumb.
Even though we've only known each other for one day.
Yeah, exactly. And then he locks the door. She's like, why are you locking the door? It's just like, it's all dumb. Anyways, so then Rios confesses he is a time traveler. Yes. Because that's what you're supposed to do.
That's what you're supposed to do on a mission where you're not supposed to change the past because your future depends on the past.
Yeah.
You know? Go change the past.
Right.
Go pull a Fry from Futurama, right?
Become your own grandpa. Yeah, it's so dumb. So then Rios takes his girlfriend's family to his spaceship, breaking every single rule of what's it called?
of time travel, right? Yeah. Of the Prime Directive. Yeah, because guys, it's like, okay, you could maybe be like, I'm a time traveler, and she's like, oh, this poor man is insane.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's like, actually, I'm gonna teleport myself to the spaceship with you guys. But before that scene happens, there's a scene where he's like, dude's on the spaceship, I need a medical piece of equipment.
Oh my God.
And it teleports in his hand, and he hands his new girlfriend this piece of equipment. And she, I don't know what to do with it. And she waves around Picard's head, and that stabilizes him while he's having, like, I don't know, brain aneurysm or something. I don't know what the heck was.
Yeah, that was clot. Pointless. That was stupid.
Yeah.
Like, he could have easily have used it as well. He's like, you're a doctor, you use it. What the fuck? Okay.
I'm a doctor from the 21st century, not the 24th century. But
yeah.
Here's a piece of equipment. Just wave it around his head. It's like, oh, you did it. I trusted you, and it worked out.
So stupid. So then Picard, in coma, talks to a therapist who's actually his dad.
Yes, we don't find it all out at once, but he's talking to this therapist who is supposed to be... He's supposed to be in the ready room of the Enterprise E. Enterprise E is the Enterprise after the Enterprise D, which is the main Enterprise that you see in TNG. Enterprise E is the one in the movies, right? It looks slightly edgier and cooler, right? So he's in the ready room being interviewed by this therapist who's supposedly questioning if he's healthy for command, right? And by the end of the episode, it's revealed that this therapist is actually his father.
Yeah.
As well as some other stuff, which comes up in our next point here.
And also, this is the same actor who was the gay friend on Bridget Jones's Diary. So every time I saw it, I'm just like, what?
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that one.
Yeah, it was just so weird. And, like, you'd think that casting would make people kind of cast people that were, like, kind of similar looking. Like, especially if he was supposed to be his dad. Like... Well, they just like, they're like, oh, like, he's fucking British.
They're completely different.
That's fine, yeah, bring him on. It's like, what the? I don't even know.
At least that one scene featuring them in the ready room made you feel like you were in Star Trek again.
Yeah,
because there was space, you know?
Yeah.
Star Trek, space, stars are in space. They're in the ready room. There's stars moving by in the background, and they're in uniform talking to each other.
Yeah.
Or Picard's not in uniform, but he's in uniform.
Yeah.
The doctor who ends up being the father. Anyways, next point.
Okay. So then Picard discovers that his mother was unstable and his father actually wasn't abusive. He just didn't remember the past properly. I don't like this. I feel like this is very, like, gaslighty, because a lot of times, like, sometimes you do remember, like...
trauma. There are other times where you might... What was that?
Oh.
There's some weird noise coming from outside.
Oh, that's weird. I think it's just a bunch of students. Okay, anyways, sorry about that.
Sometimes you remember trauma differently from what actually occurred, right? Because
but not completely
you're trying...
differently.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really confusing.
I didn't like this part. I thought it was dumb, but... Because I get this from my family a lot. We're just like, that's not what happened. And you're just like, I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
I remember what happened.
Yeah.
It was pretty traumatic for me. It might have been nothing to you, but it was pretty traumatic for me.
Right,
so I remember every moment.
Exactly. So it's dumb. So then, luckily, Picard wakes up from his robo-coma.
Yeah, they pushed the reset button and it worked.
All right. So then Picard goes to modern-day Guinan to summon Q. For reasons. Because I think he's just like, I think Q has some ulterior... Like, I don't even know how Q... But anyway.
How did he even draw the conclusion that Guinan would know
who Q is? But, yeah.
Yeah, who Q was, or... How did he even come to the conclusion he needs to contact Q? I don't remember exactly.
It was something like I think Q has a reason for us being here or something. And then, so Guinan was still closing her bar. Even though it's supposed to be closed already, like, I don't know what landlord is giving her, like, just take an entire month to move out of this property.
Yeah, get out!
Yeah, exactly, right? It's your shit. Anyways, so then, but luckily she left the most important bottle that she could ever have in her bar that was shut down. You know, it couldn't have been like, because in real life, landlords lock you out of a place. They're like, fuck you, this is my shit now, but whatever. She left a super important bottle there.
Most important bottle perhaps in the entire world.
Yeah, because it's to summon a Q. Yes. A Q is like an omnipotent god. Yes. But it's just, just shove it with like my pair of socks. What the fuck?
Whatever.
So dumb. So anyways,
I get it.
Exactly. So then Guinan then decides to summon a Q. Not Q, like our guy.
Just any Q.
Any Q. I'll just, whatever.
Whoever's nearby.
Yeah. With a summoning, so she drinks from this bottle, and essentially it's just a loud burp. Yeah, it was like so
I can't do it, but
awful. It was so dumb.
It was such a bad scene.
And you're just like, this is like I didn't want to do that.
It was super cringe. It was maybe one of the most cringy scenes of the entire thing.
Yeah.
Agent Wells from the FBI ends up being the one who is summoned instead. He arrives and detains Picard and Guinan because Picard was very stupid, using teleportation in broad daylight in the year 2024.
Yeah.
Just no care for... I don't know what these guys are doing with their teleporters.
Yeah, the one guy...
There must have been like a line... I hope there was a line to like kind of hand wave the whole thing. Like, this is why we teleported Rios into midair and he fell and got injured and all this because
Borg Queen
we don't Borg Queen things happen and we don't know how to use teleporters anymore, even though this is like basic stuff here.
Like literally you have a guy at the teleporter like doing the like that.
You'd think they'd be like, okay, can you scan the area for life forms and
security
technology, the cameras.
Yeah.
Do a camera sweep. Is this place safe? Okay, let's not teleport there in front of the camera.
Behind the dumpster. Like something.
Yeah, put me behind the dumpster. At least then they'll be like, where did that guy come from?
Maybe he was taking a piss. Anyways, so then, so after Agent Wells does that, okay, you explain this part, because it's,
Which?
The Star Trek Voyager part.
Hang on. So Agnes, hang on.
Okay. We went too
fast.
Okay,
Was this the point we were at? Broad daylight? Yes. So Agnes has been missing for a while now. She's been missing since the gala. So I guess after she did her solo and the Borg Queen gained some... since the Borg Queen gained control of her, they just walked off. You know, after Robo Picard got hit by a car, Agnes walked off. Or the Borg Queen now... It's Agnes / Borg Queen because they're in the same body.
Right.
And the Borg Queen just walks off, I guess. So she's been missing for a while. Raffi and Seven decide they're going to try to track down what the heck happened. And they discover through some footage that the Borg Queen had taken control of Agnes, or is inside Agnes now. And they track down Agnes's body, which is now the Queen, to a local bar where Agnes / Queen is smashing windows for reasons. Because they need adrenaline. Because for some reason, probably just because writers, because bad writing, the nanoprobes need adrenaline in order to work. So they're going around smashing things to get like that endorphin rush of, I guess, pleasure, endorphins, whatever endorphin is pleasure. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. So then, she's smashing windows. And it's really
okay. So at the same time, Agent Wells, who's the guy grilling, who arrested Picard and Guinan, was. The actor who plays him was in Star Trek Voyager as a time cop.
Yeah.
So anyone who watched Star Trek Voyager and watched this would be like,
oh shit,
it's that guy, it's the time cop.
He's gonna fix it. Oh shit,
they're time traveling and the time cops come to fucking be like, what are you guys doing? You stop fucking up the timeline, you idiots.
Yeah.
Right? So anyone who knows anything about Trek would have been like, yo, it's the time cop.
Okay.
It's the time cop. Now, they watch Star Trek, guys. They research this shit, guys. It's all coming together now. You guys all thought they didn't watch Star Trek? You know, Alex Kurtzman and all of the writers, it's like, no, they watched it. They knew. See, they wanted you to think they didn't know, but they knew.
Yeah.
Anyways, turns out he's not actually playing that guy at all.
Psych!
He's just playing some random FBI agent who encountered Romulans?
When he
No,
was a child.
not Romulans. The other ones, Vulcans. He encountered Vulcans when he was a child by accident.
So that made him become an FBI agent.
Yeah, who was gonna track down aliens.
Right.
Ancient aliens.
Yes, so he's trying to pressure Picard and Guinan into confessing that they're aliens, even though
They're not. I guess Guinan kind of is.
Yeah, and like he's a robot.
Yeah, technically, yeah. Like if you guys did any kind of scan, you'd be like, "Yo, that Picard is not human."
There are no
even though Picard is like, I can guarantee you I'm human. It's like you're actually
really.
not. You're actually not. You're an android.
Yeah.
Right? Or a cyborg or whatever. I think an android. So Q shows up at the detention center or whatever this is. I don't know, a jail.
It's like some sort of basement.
It's like some
FBI
underground
basement.
FBI facility where the cameras are disconnected.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is where people are taken and they disappear.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, one of those places where the FBI brings people and I guess kills them or
I don't know.
puts them out of their misery.
Yeah.
Anyways, Q shows up at this facility as an FBI agent to have a chat with Guinan. He gives her a hint about humans, that they're fixated on the past.
Yeah.
I think he gives some speech about butterfly wings being clipped.
Or
and,
pinned, yeah.
And like they're stuck in the past. And then Guinan's like, when I did the summoning, something felt off. And it's like, I felt death, but I thought it was me, but it's you.
Yeah.
You're dying. And this is where we get the whole thing of the reason Q's doing this entire shenanigans is because Q is dying. Why is Q dying? I have no freaking clue. It's not explained at all. Q is immortal.
Omnipotent.
Q is an omnipotent God being.
Yeah.
Guys, he literally, the form you see of Q is not who Q is.
Yes.
That's the form Q takes on.
So you can
talk to him, converse with him, and be like, you're a being, I recognize who you are. This is the form I take on when I see Jean Luc.
Yeah.
So that we can, have a banter together. Otherwise, I'll take on whatever form I want. I'll take on the form of, who's the Klingon guy? No, the god.
Oh, Kalis.
Kalis.
He was Kalis.
Yeah, I thought that was one of the storylines in TNG was he was Kalis and he was like all these other
and he was just like
god characters that he just takes on the form of whatever he wants.
It's like, this is hilarious. Let's do this. I'm a goofball.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. So guys, Q is omnipotent and has lived for like millennia. Okay. And he just happens to be dying for unknown reasons in the same time span that Picard is dying, because we need to write these characters out of the show so that people can relate to new characters and not still have a connection to the old characters. Right, because Raffi is the most likable character, right? Right?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, that was so dumb. Okay, we're just going to keep going. So then Guinan does an astral projection to tell Picard humans are stuck in the past, and then Picard immediately knows what she means. Of course! This is what Q wanted.
This is what what Q was telling Guinan to tell me, that humans are stuck in the past. And when Guinan said that to him through astral projection, Picard wasn't like, what are you trying to say? I'm stuck in the past? You are stuck in the past, by the way. But no, he instantly knew that that he meant to talk to the dude, Agent Wells, who is not the time-traveling cop, about his past.
Oh!
Which ends up that he encountered an alien.
Right, exactly.
Which was a Vulcan.
Exactly. And then he's like, oh, he tried to do this thing to my face. He was trying to kill me. He's like, no, I wasn't trying to kill you. He was trying to erase your memory. But it didn't work. Because I guess that one was a shit guy.
Yeah, he wasn't a very good Vulcan.
Like, oh
he was like a B-tier Vulcan or a C-tier Vulcan.
What the hell? That was so weird. Anyway, so then Picard confesses that he is a time traveler, and in doing so, breaking more Prime Directive rules.
Yes.
He's like the king of keeping up the Prime Directive.
He is.
And like he's just like so stupid. It's like to just throw everything out the window that we know about Picard. But okay.
It's like he's not even the same guy.
No.
Right? It's just like he just has the appearance of Picard because of Patrick Stewart.
Yes.
But actually he is not playing Picard.
Yeah.
Right?
It's so stupid. So
it would have actually been a better twist, guys, just throwing this out there. It would have been a better twist is at the end they were like, this is the alternate timeline, and this is not the real Picard. This is an alternate timeline Picard, and that's why he's so different from the Picard you know.
I guess. Yeah.
Right? At least then you'd be like, oh, oh, now we can dismiss everything that's been so stupid because this isn't the Picard we know. This is a different Picard in an alternate time, especially since they traveled to an alternate timeline. Yeah. It could have just been like, yeah, he's so weird because...
Yeah, I guess. I mean, that's like slapping a Band-Aid on a gushing wound. It's just like, I guess.
Okay, so let's move on. Agent Wells releases them, and oh yeah, he got fired.
Boo. Oh, but don't worry. He was supposed to be there. That was his whole life purpose, right?
His life purpose was to encounter Vulcan, who wasn't very good at his job, so that he would be super sus about aliens, to join the FBI so that he could be there.
Arresting Picard and then letting him free.
Yes.
That was the whole, oh my god, my life's meaning is fulfilled. It's so dumb.
So meanwhile, Raffi and Seven's still looking for
the Borg Queen.
Yes.
Agnes. So then Raffi and Seven walk 10 feet away from the bar where Agnes broke the window and discover that she killed some dude. But who cares?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, just like, I guess.
Just some random dude with some mark on his neck.
Is this LA? Like, do people just see dead bodies? Like, whatever. Like, it wasn't even like hidden very well. It was just
it was literally beside some dumpster. Like, that happens every day.
Yeah, it's LA for you. Like, yikes. And then Agnes / Borg Queen is literally just 5 feet away, eating lead batteries from cars. When the previous scene mentions that she needs actually lithium metals, which are not in cars.
Because they make a big deal about lithium because they're like, oh, we need stabilizing metals, and lithium is a stabilizing metal, and that's why she took the battery from a cell phone, which makes sense because the cell phone actually has lithium batteries. Yeah. But then they cut to Agnes eating car batteries.
It's like so dumb.
And it's like, guys, I'm sure everyone out there has already made this statement, but guys, car batteries are not lithium batteries. The only car that uses that is maybe the Teslas. They have lithium ion batteries. Everything else uses fucking lead acid batteries. Standard battery you'll find at like Walmart, right? They're like dumping the acid out on her face.
It was so dumb.
It burns.
I know, right? But she's Borg, so it doesn't. So the Borg Queen beats them up. Seven has ample opportunity to grab Phaser to shoot the Queen, but she just watches the Queen choke out Raffi.
Yeah, whatever. Like, Raffi's not a very likable character anyways. I mean, like, maybe I would do that too, right? I'd be like,
it just so
please,
dumb.
Just take her out.
But don't worry, the Queen then...
This is supposed to be Seven's love interest, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know how the hell this
If that
happened.
was my love interest, I would scramble to my feet, grab that Phaser, and blast that Borg Queen. I don't care.
Shoot her in the foot or something. But like none of that happened. And
Phaser her leg right off.
When did they become romantic? Is my question. Like there was like no.
At the end of season 1, there's a scene where they're like holding hands or something, or touching fingertips. That was their relationship.
That constitutes a relationship. Okay, I guess so. All right, I better not touch some guy's hand at Walmart. Like Jesus.
Yeah.
So dumb.
It's that easy, Lydia. You gotta be careful.
It's so dumb. So then the Queen releases Raffi because Agnes is still in there, and they're best friends, even though they had almost no scenes together and like no chemistry.
None.
No.
None. Zero.
Yeah.
Did Agnes even interact with Raffi?
I mean, like maybe a line. I don't. It's not. The writers
most characters only interact directly with Picard.
Yeah.
Except for like the odd time, like Raffi with Seven.
Yeah.
That's like it.
Yeah, I mean, like, it was just so dumb, but okay. All right, so, they're besties now. I won't strangle you. No, I'll choke you. I just won't kill you. It's like, okay. So anyway, so then we're back to Corey. Do you remember Corey?
No. Yeah. There's a reason.
So Corey, who's the actress from the first season, who needed some scenes that she's still relevant to the plot for reasons. Even though like they tried to like write her off like, oh, I'm a diplomat or something.
Yeah. What was her character's name in the first season?
Oh my god. I don't know, but her probable age was 37 months.
Yes. Probable age 37 months.
Anyways, but regardless, so she's here again.
Yes. Now she's playing Corey.
Yeah.
Now there's like 3 of them or 3 of her or whatever.
So stupid.
Whatever. She's a clone baby. She is the clone baby of Adam Sung.
Yes. So then
Corey discovers that she is a clone baby by accessing some PC that I guess was unlocked or something.
Her dad's PC, I guess. She was just like, what are these? And then there was all these other sisters, but like none of them made it as far as she did. And then she's just like, whoa, like having like a crisis.
What am I?
Yeah, right?
Then she puts on this VR headset, and then she discovers that Q left a message hidden inside the VR headset, specifically for her, about he's sending a package to her house. Yeah. And the package arrives perfectly on time, and it is the cure for her.
She's allergic to the sun?
Yeah, she's allergic to sun rays, or sun rays burn her skin or something. Yeah. I don't know exactly what it is, but something like that. Yeah,
right? so she runs away after getting medicine from Q. So then, because like the Borg Queen
soon comes home while she's running away.
Right, and then
he's like, "You can't leave me. I made you."
Yeah, and then she's like, "Watch me." And you're just like, "Okay."
And he's like,
She leaves without like a backpack or anything, but then later on she has a change of outfit. So I guess that's what LA is. All right, so then the Borg Queen walks into Sung's house, I guess. And then
how she knew where it was? She's a Borg Queen. It doesn't matter. Don't ask questions. She knew.
She read the yellow pages.
She assimilated the yellow pages.
Yeah, there you go. So then she convinces Sung to join up for a super evil plan to steal La Serena.
Yes.
Because I need this ship.
I need this ship so I can jumpstart my empire for 400 years.
And then she's just like, oh, but you're if you help me, I can tell that they're gonna make statues of you. And he's like, okay, strange woman who's in my house.
Okay, strange woman who's in my house who then proceeds to take over other people's minds. Yeah. I definitely trust you.
Yeah.
This seems like, you can trust.
You can be like me. Yeah.
Okay, I believe you.
So dumb. So then,
Sung gets commandos to become Borg semi-drones? They're not quite drones. They don't have like all the pieces.
Yeah.
Right? They're like, they just changed the LEDs on their sniper rifles to be green instead of the red ones.
Right, because they're super evil.
They're evil, and you need to know that because now their targeting laser is green. They're still using machine guns from, the 20th century, 21st century, but now they're green lasers, guys, instead of red.
So they're Borg.
Yes.
Or sort of Borg. Transitioning to Borg.
They're transitioning the Borg. The machine guns are transitioning as well.
Yeah. Because why not?
Yeah, why?
So then, the Queen and Sung and drones beam to La Serena that is luckily parked in France.
Why is it in orbit? I don't understand.
I think because the other guys.
You can't say that it's because it's broken down because like 10 minutes later it flies off.
Yeah.
So what is the reason it's parked and not just orbiting? You're in a time frame where. Okay, think about this. You're in a time where humanity has no ability to be like, there is a freaking alien spaceship up there.
Yeah.
But if you park it on the ground, good chance someone might notice it. Let's park it on the ground.
Brilliant. I know, just like kind of hover above the satellites. Like, what are we gonna do about it?
We'll just be like, I don't know. There's something up there somewhere, maybe. But
Can we be racist at it? No. Ah, shit.
Damn.
So stupid.
Okay, so then Picard, Talon, Raffi, and Seven, and Rios, right? And Rios, and he brings along his Spanish. No. Rios is on the ship. So Picard, Talon, Raffi, Seven beam to a position about 150 yards away from La Serena for reasons unknown. I don't know why, but that's where they beam to, right? I guess so that they can have a battle.
Yeah.
They can have a battle, so why beam directly on the ship? During this time when all of this beaming is taking, everyone's beaming all over the place, is when Rios is on the ship and the Borg start beaming onto the ship, and Rios is like, oh shit! And he flees with his new Mexican family out the back of the ship, and then the Queen gets like her jumpsuit back or whatever.
Yes, exactly. And then I think he gets shot.
Yes.
And then they're like, oh, let's transport back to the clinic. And then Picard's like, shut off the transport.
He can't come back. It'll just be he'll drag us down or something. I mean, yeah, the young guy who's got like a single bullet wound is gonna drag you down, but not like the 112-year-old man who can't even like pop up and take a shot, right? Like, okay, guys, I wanna. There's a whole other thing to say here about whether Patrick Stewart is fit enough to really do anything other than walk around a little, right?
That's why I was expecting old time Star Trek, like let's
with
talk
political stuff and political tensions,
like,
and
nobody
we can prevent a world war by discussion. That'd be really relevant right now, right, guys? Right, guys? But we're not going to get into that. Yeah. The point being, he's not fit for anything, so they can't even give him a phaser and him be like, pop, 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 and like, duck down. Like they've got the rest of the crew with like their phasers or guns, and they're firing at the semi-Borg dudes with the green lasers, and Picard can't do anything. So they're just like, come on, Patrick Stewart, and he walks away.
It's just so
and it's
weird.
Like I do understand he's elderly and all that, but yeah, geez, like get a stuntman in there for one scene to like hold the gun and be like psh, 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 over the barrier, so it's at least like he's trying, right? Anyways,
that would require funding, Kenny. I don't think so.
They're on a limited budget with this one. They are running like 6 different Star Trek series at the same time.
But you think that this one would have a little bit more
the most important one? Yeah.
Okay.
You would think so, but remember, they're trying to get us to forget about the past so that you can embrace the new Trek.
I hate it. I hate all of it.
New Trek, which is all about violence and racism and
not accepting your peers
and not an ideal future, which Starfleet is supposed to be.
I
something that we
strive to
become.
It's capitalist future. It's awful. I hate it.
Yeah, it's like, thanks, I hate it.
Yeah, thanks, I hate it.
Anyway, so Hollow Elnor is summoned by who? The Borg Queen tries to take control of the computer, and Agnes is like, ha ha ha.
I hid the secret code
inside Elnor.
Hollow
Elnor, who is back to chop some people up because he loves chopping people's heads off, flipping around, chop.
Yeah, he's like the Jack from Metal Gear Solid.
It's time for Elnor to
Yeah, it's so weird. So then Hollow Elnor has all the memories of Elnor for reasons unknown.
Yes.
That's super lucky.
It makes no sense at all, because when Picard was transplanted into his robo body, they had to have something where they had him.
Yeah.
And they were like, had a circuit on his head transplanting his memories and stuff into the what did they call it? A golem body? Right? I think they called it a golem last season. Although now they should just call him Gollum. Right? Gollum Picard.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Jean Luc Gollum.
Exactly. So that's very lucky that they had that on like the hard drive there.
I guess they made a backup of his memory.
Just when he's sleeping,
as he was dying, because he makes a remark about having the memories of Elnor as Elnor is dying, and how they were memories of love for Raffi. Okay.
What?
When did they even have a relationship?
I don't know.
And I know it's a mother-son relationship, not like a lover's relationship, but still, it's like, show us. Don't tell. Show us the relationship.
Yeah.
Where is this relationship? Show us anything.
There was nothing. There was nothing there. I felt nothing for any of these people.
Especially Elnor. When he died, I forgot he even existed.
Yeah, it was,
Right?
Yeah.
Except for the fact that I was like, there's no dude to like flip around and cut people's heads off.
Yeah, it's like, there's something's missing, yeah. So anyway, then Hollow Elnor is afraid of bullets even though he is a hologram?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Like, he's like running and flipping to avoid bullets and shit, and it's like, yo, bruh, you should just be like,
I'm an LED, bitch! Like, it's
like,
just,
yeah, they should be like, everyone unloads a clip, and he's just like,
Yeah, it's so dumb. It was so dumb. Exactly. It's so stupid. So then Raffi says Seven should have been captain, and Seven explains the Federation are space racist.
Yes, which makes no sense at all, because literally anyone is welcome to join the Federation.
Yeah.
In fact, Seven's direct pupil was in the Federation. The dude who got his implant ripped out of his face last season. What was his name?
Oh my god.
Oh shit, I cannot remember his name.
Yes.
But he was a Borg, a former Borg who still had Borg pieces in him.
Space Doug.
Space Doug, yes. Anyways, he was another Borg who came back with Voyager when Voyager came back from Delta Quadrant along with Seven. And Icheb, that's his name. Icheb. Icheb was also a Borg who was brought back into humanity, right? And he was allowed to join the Federation. He's even wearing the Federation uniform when he's being tortured and his implants being ripped out. He's wearing the Starfleet uniform. Yeah. So I guess they forgot. They forgot about that scene from last season, as well as the fact that they forgot that the Federation is supposed to be an idealized future where we're not racist. We are accepting of everyone's individualities, and that everyone's individualities and skills make us better, not worse. Yes. Right? That's the whole point of the Federation. It represents that. In the 60s, it was like the first interracial kiss and all that with the show, right? With the show. Right. The Starfleet and Star Trek as a whole represented an idealized version of the future. Right? And where those things wouldn't matter anymore. Where an interracial kiss doesn't matter.
Where like money doesn't matter. Where racism,
doesn't exist, right? Yeah. And so, yes, Star Trek, people always say, oh, stop saying, don't say political messages, because Star Trek's always been full of political messages. Like, yes, we all know that. Yeah. That's not the point. The point is they told those stories of racism in present day through allegories, right? Yes. By having a story like, here's a planet that is racist. Let's go there and look at it and be like, whoa, that is whack. Yeah. You guys need to stop that, because until you stop being racist, you are not going to be able to harmonize and bring the planet under control with pollution and blah, 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 blah.
And it was always like really, like how they did it in like old Star Trek. Like you go visit a planet and like you were presented with like the bad first. You're just you're like, oh, okay. And then you're like, okay, I guess that makes sense. And then the rebellious people will be like, no. And then you're like, oh, I see. I understand both sides of this. Okay. Now that I understand both sides
now I understand why there are rebels and why there are like the other factions.
Right, exactly.
And we need to come to some understanding, because everything gets better through understanding each other.
Communication and all that fun stuff.
Not through firing bullets.
It's just like, oh, this one has like, it's too action heavy. I hate it. But okay, we're going to continue.
We're going to get on a bad rant.
I know, sorry.
Where were we? Seven in charge? No, we didn't say
Space racist. And then,
Space racist. Okay, so the next line here.
So Seven and Raffi charge through the open field full of dudes with assault rifles unloading on them. Yet they manage to make it through with no injuries at all.
Yes. They do like
let's do this.
Do you remember Mass Effect 3? Where there's that final scene near the end of the game where you're at one end of this like long stretch, at the other end is the Citadel portal, and you have to like run, and there's like all these explosions happening, and you're Commander Shepard, and you're running, and there's like Reaper lasers shooting, trying to take you out, and you have to get to the portal that's going to take you up to the Citadel, right? And that's basically what that is. It's like they had to do like the suicide run through an open field to get to La Sirena, right?
Except but like they didn't even show it. They just showed like an overhead.
And they just showed an overhead with them running out, and they're like, all we have is a knife. Yeah. All we have is a knife. And they start running through this open field with like 30 of the world's best commandos, right? And they all got Borgified tech, which you think would make them better with their weapons, not worse. But none of them can hit them. They're like, blah, 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 blah. I can't control my muscles because of the Borg implants. I can't aim.
They must have been like Star Wars guns.
Yeah. Just can't hit anything at all. Yeah. Okay, so next point. Picard and Fake Laris, as we've dubbed her. Fake Laris or Talon, whatever you want to call her. Run in Dungeons and Dragons, they run into the dungeons from the previous Dungeons and Dragons episode to hide from Sung and his drone Borg buddies. Yes. Right? And they're like hunting for Picard and Fake Laris, and they go and they hide in some dungeon that they access through a bookcase that slides inside. They go down into this dungeon where he keeps having with these weird flashbacks of him when he was a young kid walking around being traumatized.
With the skeleton key hidden behind the brick.
Because that's where his mom committed suicide, and that's why he was traumatized by the whole thing. Yes. Right? Yes. Yeah, because when he goes down there, he starts remembering his past. Yeah. And he's traumatized. Yeah. Whatever.
All right, don't worry. Let's hard cut to... Wait. The hard cuts.
The hard cuts? Man, some of the cuts... Maybe if you were watching it on regular cable TV, it would make more sense. No. But I'm not even sure then. But because we're watching it through Crave, which just gives you it without ads.
Thank God.
It's like the hard cuts are so hard, just like
what the? It's jarring.
It's disorienting, right? It's like what?
Yeah.
We just went from like Dungeons and Dragons to like like rifles firing, and then we get to the Queen. The Queen is held by Hollow Eleanor, Raffi, and Seven at gunpoint / sword point, and they're like, "We got you dead to rights, bad Queen," and she's like, "Oh yeah, whatcha?" And she shoots out her little tentacles and kills or knocks everyone out. She kills Hollow Eleanor, knocks away Raffi because she's annoying, and then stabs right through Seven. Yeah, she mortally wounds Seven.
Yes, exactly. So then, Agnes, inside of the Borg Queen, she gives a speech about love and friendship. She's like, instead of assimilating, why don't we just like talk to people?
Let's ask for permission.
Yeah, you're just like,
we can lift up the worst, the most unfortunate of people, right? And you're like, well, that is technically a good message. You could be like, yeah, in the old Trek, they would probably just execute handicapped people, right?
Or whatever.
Or like the Borg. The Borg specifically. The Borg's looking for, we want the best DNA possible.
Yeah, to survive and overtake everyone. You know what I mean? Like,
and whereas now you could be a Borg of friendship, where that handicapped man can now have functioning legs. Are you okay if we simulate you, sir?
I'm so lonely.
Zap!
I need love and friendship.
This hurts a lot, and I have no control of my mind anymore, but it's worth it.
I'm so lonely, but now I'm happy. It's so dumb. Oh my God. Okay, anyway, so then the Queen agrees she was lonely. That's why she killed billions of people. Boo-hoo. I was
the poor
so
Queen.
sad. If only one.
See, she had a traumatic past too.
Oh yeah. Okay. So then, as Seven is dying and Raffi going like, oh no, I don't know how to fix this because I'm on a ship that doesn't have a med supply because it's dumb.
Because it's a warship in this alternate timeline, even though you would need med supplies to heal your soldiers. Doesn't make any sense.
Or a hollow doctor, or anything.
Or EMH, like bring that hollow doctor back. You know, welcome. What does that guy say? Please state your medical emergencies or whatever that guy says.
Yeah,
the bald doctor.
The bald guy. Yeah. All right. So then after okay.
The Queen assimilates her.
Yes, the Queen assimilates Seven and heals her through love and friendship.
Through love and friendship, which makes Seven get her Borg implants back. Because remember, she lost them when the time flip happened, or the parallel universe, whatever you want to call it. So now Seven gets her same implants back.
They just
which makes
them out
no sense at all, guys. Because
the prop bin.
They got out the prop, the old mold. They got the molds from they're like, listen, Paramount Pictures, you still got those molds kicking around? They're like, yeah, just pour some more silicone in those molds, and we're gonna make some new props here. Just paint them slightly different color so that we know that just a brighter gray. Yes. Instead of gunmetal, let's use silver so that we know that it's different. But it's the same, but still different. Okay. So, guys, I got some bad news for you. Seven has the implant she does in the original timeline because the EMH, who was the doctor on the Voyager, did the best he could with what he could at the time, right? So it was like her entire eye was gone, right? And they surgically replaced it, and it was the metal piece that's over her eyebrow and stuff. It's that's the piece he couldn't remove, because if he removed it, it would cave in her skull and stuff, right? And it's okay, she has those implants still because the medical procedures he was able to do had limitations based on what their understanding of the Borg were. That's why she ends up with the implants the way they are, right? And so they're the writers are just that's just how she looks when she's assimilated, right, guys?
Yeah, I think so.
She gets assimilated and she looks like that. It's no, that is not what an assimilated person looks like. That's how someone who's been resuscitated from being assimilated looks like.
Correct.
They have Borg parts because not all of them can be removed without killing them.
Yeah.
Right? But that part, I guess, escaped them.
Ridiculous. So then, so then the Queen takes us, Serena, and then she leaves for the Delta Quadrant.
Yeah, she wants to start her
assimilation.
Borg faction, I guess. Like, this is another thing. So the Borg still exist, right? So she gets a 400-year head start to start the Borg, right?
Yeah.
400 years is a long-ass time.
Mm-hmm.
So the original Borg, do they still exist? And then there are now Borg factions? And she's a faction of the Borg?
I don't know.
Because if they didn't, then everything that happened was undone because the Borg are now friendly. Maybe. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if she is the founder of the Borg, which she isn't.
Yeah.
But let's just say she goes back to the Delta Quadrant. That's where the original Borg is. Now,
the cube.
The cube still exists, right? Even in season 1, the cube was there in season 1 of Picard.
Yeah.
So is that like different factions of Borg, and she's the friendly Borg, but there's still the evil Borg? Maybe in season 3 they're gonna have some battle between the evil and the good Borg.
The vagina Borg opens up to the cube.
The Vagoo Borg. We can't say that word.
Sorry, Vagoo. Sorry. Anyways, so then she just goes for the Delta Quadrant. Bye. Peace out.
Yeah, the Queen leaves a hint for Picard.
Yes. There must be 2 Rene Picards, one that must live and one that must die.
Even though that makes no sense, especially when you see what happens.
Exactly. So then, Fake Alaris teleports herself and Picard into mission control site for the Europa mission.
Yes.
Because it's time now. The time everyone...
this is episode 10.
Yeah.
This is the beginning of episode 10. Fake Alaris teleports...
Yes.
She was just going to go herself, but then Picard, jumps into the beam.
He's like,
even though I'm not sure that's exactly how teleporting works.
He jumped into the cloud. Yeah.
Yeah, the cloud,
right? The teleporting cloud. So then she's just like, I don't need no man, Picard. He's like, I know what you're doing, dumbass. You're gonna
don't kill yourself.
Yeah, and then she's like, this is my life's goal. I was meant to kill myself.
And I don't need no man for protection.
Exactly. So stupid. So then, Fake Alaris very casually walks away through mission control. Nobody notices her.
Nobody has any problem with it.
She's not even dressed as...
the rocket is launching 10 feet from where the mission control is. There's no like if you go down to what's that launch center called? Kennedy.
Space Center. Yeah.
Kennedy Space Center. If you go down there, the rocket's launched 5 miles away from where the people are.
Yeah, because ouchie, ouch.
Ouch my ears,
yes.
But,
fire.
Anyways, she very casually walks around
in
through
regular
mission control.
clothes.
Yeah. In her casual clothes.
And just people are just walking past her. You're just really come on, this is so dumb. So then
no one really notices at all.
Yeah. So then don't worry, she steals a space uniform. It's a red jumpsuit or something.
Yes.
So then Fake Alaris confronts Rene Picard. She sneaks into a room and then she gives her speech about her not being a stalker. She's like, I was there your whole life.
She's like, who are you? What did you do to the person who's supposed to be helping me with whatever? I don't know. Probably suiting up for the launch, right?
Maybe.
I don't.
It's just
it's not very well explained what she's doing in that room by herself.
No.
There's no cameras, no monitoring, no nothing. Mm-hmm. She's in there to have a private one-on-one conversation with Rene Picard, and she's like, "I knew you when you were."
A baby.
When you were a baby and you threw a spaceship into your mom's grave or something like that.
Yeah, that was weird. I gave you this keychain. You're just like, okay.
Do you remember I gave you this keychain when you almost drowned because a boat capsized?
It's like, why didn't you fucking step in there, lady? But okay.
She did. Yeah. She did, and she rescued her from the capsized boat and gave her the keychain. It's like, remember me.
Psh. And
remember me, but don't remember me.
Don't remember me. So that it's like, you gotta trust me. It's like,
you can trust me.
It's so dumb, and you're just like, okay. And then it cuts away
to Sung in the hallway.
Yeah.
And she comes running out, and she's like, there's this crazy lady in there. She says you guys should trust me. I don't know what's going on.
And Sung's like, he says something
don't
crazy.
worry, baby.
Yeah.
Come with me.
I will touch your face.
I will touch your face.
With poison!
Ah, you got me.
It's so dumb. And the reason why he's even there, he's like, don't my billions of donations count?
I did so many donations. I want to have a one-on-one with some of the astronauts before launch.
Because that happens.
Yeah.
Never.
Well, okay, doctor. I guess even though we went through quarantine, so, you've got the,
You got the virus.
You got the pandemic virus going around. Well, sure,
let's bring it to space.
Let's take it to space.
Because that would not work. It doesn't matter how much money you have. They would not compromise us.
A mission.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you donated $1 bajillion. Okay.
Like, that's nice. Keep your germs over there. You can talk to her.
Even if for example, when the very first manned mission of the Falcon 9, where they flew humans to the space center, the space station, they had a bunch of people who got to talk to the astronauts as they were suiting up, but they still had a barrier where they were like, you had to stand like 10 feet away and talk to them that way,
right?
Because in case like any mucus shot out, that it could not possibly reach the astronaut, right? Because you don't want like contamination.
Yeah. But
anyways, we're getting
I got money, so
I gave $10 billion, even though I am a broke ass scientist.
Right?
Yes. Yeah, it's very confusing.
So then, Fake Laris, So then we have Fake Laris. She confronts Renee and gives her a speech about how she's not a stalker. Then Renee believes
that she's not a stalker.
And then Fake Laris conveniently has phased the holotech.
Yes.
That allows her to trick Soong into poisoning her.
Instead of poisoning Renee.
But the tech is never seen again, despite that it's extremely useful for espionage. Could have been helpful this whole time.
The Romulans could have been using it for years to infiltrate Starfleet and all that shit.
Yeah.
But,
And how the hand poison doesn't interact with the holotechnology, I don't know.
Right? Because he touches the face. You'd think his hand would move through the whole image and then be like, that's suspicious.
Yeah, so just for some reason, that's a thing. So then the real Renee, thank goodness, boards the Europa mission. Woo!
She flies off to Europa, which is a moon of Jupiter or Saturn? Jupiter. Is it a Jupiter moon?
Yeah, and then
anyways, guys, I just want to tell you that if any moon around Jupiter would be so bombarded with radiation, it's impossible. We would never visit one of these moons ever in our entire lives, because the amount of radiation emitted by Jupiter is so high that we can't go close to it. It's impossible.
Don't worry.
It's impossible. It'd be like going and landing on Mercury and not being expected to get roasted.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, okay. Anyways, let's move away from the world of reality. Fake Lars dies in the hands of Robo Picard.
Why?
I don't know why she didn't use space, magic, Vulcan, or Romulan.
Yeah, like the little
stuff
device. Just like, too bad for that face. Like, it's just, she didn't use space magic to heal herself.
Get one of those hypo sprays.
Yeah, right?
I'm all good. I'm good now.
Yeah, just, how does 21st century poison kill you when you have all this technology available to you? Like, it's just so dumb. And she's Beverly like, no, I was supposed to die. You're just like, but like nobody.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
I guess you could if that's really what you want.
Nobody notices the Romulan corpse at Mission Control. they're just like, I'm on my coffee break.
It's like security. There's an elderly man holding a corpse down in gangway 2 or something. Right? It's like, okay. Does anyone want to go down and take a look?
Nah. I'm eating cake from
Listen, the rocket is launching. We're having a launch here. We're not worried about the dead body. That's not concerning.
It's so lame. Yeah, so then Soong just casually leaves for his house after murdering someone. I guess the base just has no cameras or anyone who gives a shit.
No, there's no security. There's no one watching anything as Soong murders someone.
Yeah.
Among other things.
So then soon, once he gets home...
We forgot to mention these guys.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
The flying Roombas.
Yeah, so soon before he left flying Roombas at his house for some reason that were going to take down the Europa mission.
They were going to shoot down the rocket as it launched.
Yeah, because, that's... it's okay. There's so many plot holes, but it's okay. So then the crew comes and then they hack it by putting a rubber tube
I need to hack this. Raffi, who's displayed no ability to hack anything up to this point, is suddenly a computer hacker grabbing like clear tube.
Yes.
It's like used for automotive stuff and like connecting them.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm hacking the interwebs here.
It was, and then they couldn't hack, and then
they were launched already, but they were somehow still able to hack them, even though they were no longer present.
I'm able to get one of them, so I can take down all the other ones with this
by crashing into them.
But don't worry, mine for some reason is fine.
Is made of better metal. So it could smash into the others and then also break.
Smash itself. It was so stupid. Okay, anyways. We're just gonna keep talking. Okay, so then, the assault room
He discovers that his house was trash.
Yes. And then, angry clone baby comes and hacks his computer from your local library. Don't forget to support it, folks.
Support your local library.
And deletes all of his life work. All of his clones.
Or MRF star, guys, Linux commands here. Just
he has no backups.
Wipe everything.
No backups.
No backups. Like, no NAS, no offsite backups. Those things don't exist in the minds of show writers because they don't understand what a NAS even is, or remote backups, or Amazon. What's that backup service Amazon has? AWS or something.
Cloud.
It's like guys, you would not have your life work on one hard drive. You know how often hard drives fail? Like literally every person watching this videos probably had a hard drive fail on them. And be like, no, I lost all my MP3s. I pirated online.
No! I know.
It's like, come on, guys. If you had your life's work that was like experiments and shit, you'd be like, I need like quadruple backups.
Right, exactly.
Anyways, clone baby deletes the files
from library. Yeah, amazing. That was so dumb.
With her VR goggles.
Yes, that nobody knows. She's on a beanbag chair in the middle of like.
She just needed like a latte. And I don't know.
So cringe. Okay. Anyways, so then Sung, I guess, starts Project Khan, even though it doesn't actually happen for a long time.
Yeah.
So I guess he must keep passing this unfinished project onto all of his descendants, who eventually get to
all
Khan.
Look like him.
Right. Lucky. And then Khan.
And then eventually one of his descendants finished Project Khan. Then they decide this was a bad idea, and they freeze Khan, and then they unfreeze Khan.
And then Kirk, and then Khan. So thank God they put that in.
Yeah.
So stupid. So anyways, so then the remaining crew hangs out at Chateau Picard. Yeah.
They're like, well, our ship is gone, and we have no way back to the future, so I guess we have to accept living in present day. Works out for Rios because he's got a hot Latina girlfriend anyways.
Instant family.
But not so great for... the others who
yeah,
I don't know.
But don't worry, guys. We were holding out something special from you.
Yeah.
Guess who shows up?
Who?
Will Wheaton.
Paint can salesman. Will Wheaton.
Oh my God. So shows up as a traveler to recruit Clone Baby as a traveler, even though that's not how being a traveler works. Wesley Crusher was
recruited as a traveler because he was extremely gifted.
Yes.
And able to manipulate warp bubbles. Something that they didn't even mention.
No. Yeah, so Will Wheaton is the actor. Wesley Crusher is the person.
Right.
Okay.
We gotta
Yeah, sorry about that.
Sorry,
so anyway, Wesley Crusher was recruited as a traveler because he was extremely gifted. He could manipulate time warp bubbles, like you mentioned, but not just because they liked him.
Yeah. They weren't like, listen, old chap, you're in the club now.
They're just like,
welcome to the travelers.
You're brilliant. And then I guess hacking a computer from your local library is pretty brilliant. I guess,
but there's lots of people who do that present day. Are they in the travelers, I guess?
Well, we don't know.
Well, maybe they are.
Maybe they are.
Okay.
All right. So also, without giving any context on who the travelers are, this scene makes no sense. I guess Will Wheaton really needed a scene since he will not be in season 3.
Yes.
/ cry.
Yes, I did see some footage online of Will Wheaton like crying. Something to do with, I didn't watch the whole clip, so I don't know the full context, but he was crying in an interview about Star Trek, about wanting to be seen. Now, I don't know if this whole like traveler part is like a reshoot, because they're like, fuck, we forgot Will Wheaton.
Maybe.
We need to give him at least a guest appearance in season 2 since he's not in season 3, guys. So let's slip him in here with this traveler thing. They're just like, oh shit, we forgot Will Wheaton was in Star Trek. Even though he was in the movies, he was in the show for like 4 seasons out of 7.
Yeah.
He was in that one episode where like they were like pilots and got their buddy killed.
That was terrible.
Doing like the Cobalt Star maneuver. Wesley, did you do something? No.
Yes, I did.
Tom Paris told me to lie.
Yes.
Oh, I confess this happened.
Yeah, I know.
Anyways, Will Wheaton.
It was cool to see him.
It was okay to see him, although seeing how he does a lot of promotional work for Star Trek, seeing him back in Star Trek, it's like they didn't trim his beard or anything, so he looked exactly like the guy who was doing the interviews for like the media press stuff, right? He just showed up. They're like, yo, Will.
Come here.
Come on. We're just gonna do a scene. We called in the other lady who needs more bits.
Yeah.
And just come over here. Will.
Just say this line.
Just say this line and then say, "Welcome to the Travelers."
Yeah.
And hold out your hand. It's like, got him.
He's crying because he didn't get paid.
Okay, so anyways, they end up leaving the scene by using standard teleportation, like transporter system that starships use. They didn't use the warp bubble manipulation that the Travelers use, which is like they kind of fade out of existence, right? If you know the Travelers, you know that they kind of just, when they teleport away or move away, I wouldn't say teleport at all. When they go away to somewhere else, they kind of just like fade into nothingness. There's no teleporter beam. There's no cloud energy. It's almost like they just become transparent and then they're gone. Anyways, back to Picard.
All right.
At Chateau Picard.
Picard meets Q in the little greenhouse, which is very nice because that's where, like,
he was traumatized.
Yeah, his mom would paint and then they got smooshed and all that stuff.
That's where his mom hung herself.
Yes, not fun. Not fun times. But anyway, so there's two nice chairs there and they sit face to face. So then Q gives some speech about him being super BFFs with Picard.
Yes.
He's like, every god has a favorite. You were my favorite, Picard. Yeah, and then he's like, I will sacrifice my remaining energy to send Picard and friends back to the future.
Now, why he can't just do this, because he's an omnipotent, immortal being, he has to sacrifice himself for reasons I don't know. Like, guys, literally, I'm dying for reasons, but you were my favorite.
I love tormenting you.
Me, the actor, I'm not going to be able to reprise this role, and as a writer, they're not smart enough to be like, listen, I could take on any form, like the guy who's the Time Lord in that other TV show. With the
Doctor Who?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where like he just takes on new forms. Yeah. Like Q could take on any form. Q could be a woman. Q could be anybody. The point is that you don't have to write him as, he's discovered his mortality because the actor is mortal and he's getting old and we're not going to keep bringing him back. He'd just be like, Q's taking on a new form.
I know, but why did you have to do that? I like Q.
I like
this
Q.
Is stupid, but okay. Anyways, we'll keep our Mon Capitan. I know, right? So anyway, so Q always picked on Picard because Picard was his favorite being.
He's
everywhere.
like, teasing Master Takagaki.
Yeah, I guess so, right?
I really liked you, and that's why I was always teasing you.
I know, right? So then, so he sacrifices his last remaining energy. So then, but Rios is like, no, I need to stay behind, for my Mexican family.
My new Latin family with my hot Latin wife.
Yeah.
Or girlfriend, sorry.
Instant family. I need to stay here because I never fit in anywhere.
I never fit in anywhere, even though I was literally the captain of the Stargazer and fit in perfectly. I was never a good fit.
Boo-hoo. So then like, because he stays behind, Q's like, I got special energy.
I got a little extra juice, guys. I divvied it up, the amount of juice I had for everyone. He's not taking his cup, so I got some extra.
It's a secret shoe. So then, which is dumb because this guy ends up dying in a bar fight. So we're just like, yeah, okay, you're dumb. Anyways,
who cares?
Nobody cares. So anyways,
he was so irrelevant. Like, Rios' entire plot this season was irrelevant.
Yeah.
Maybe even more irrelevant than last season's.
He's Mexican. Ice. Okay.
My bad, yes.
All right, so now that he didn't take his energy, Q can now resurrect Elnor, who nobody cared about as well.
Yeah, I barely even noticed he was gone, to be honest with you.
Except for Raffi.
Raffi was devastated. That's the only reason I knew Elnor was gone, because Raffi had to remind us that there was no decapitating dude flipping around doing cartwheels and shit.
Exactly.
Chow.
Okay, so then after that, this was probably the nicest part, but this was also a cheap part. Picard hugs Q.
Yes, I actually had a tear for that.
I did too.
But it wasn't earned.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like, I had a tear because of the old relationship that existed with Picard and Q. And being like, oh my God.
Yeah, like, that's so sweet. And just like, it has nothing to do with what happened this time.
No.
It was
if anything, Q was a huge asshole this time.
Yeah.
Who's like raving, lunatic, angry, like, you need forgiveness for what you did in the past.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, like, if you could just explain yourself a little, then I could help you, you know?
Yeah.
Instead, Q's like, punishing you.
Yeah, it's just like, what? Like, have you not learned from, like, every time you got kicked out of the queue, like, you were supposed to, like, learn some lesson, and then the queue's like, all right, get back in.
All right, you're back in. It's like, I'm going to sacrifice my life to save the Enterprise. Really? You're really going to do that, Q? He's like, yeah, I don't care anymore, so I'm going to sacrifice myself. And they're like, that's exactly what we want. You're back in! It's like, really?
Here.
Yeah, you're back in.
Yeah. And he's like, thanks, Picard, bye!
Bye!
Yeah.
Mon Capitan, look who's back!
Mariachi band,
Right?
Yeah. Where was the mariachi band?
Where's the mariachi band?
Seriously.
That was the best part of Q. So he was so like goofy and he's so sad and then he's so excited.
I know.
And then he's like in like the like adventurer's outfit at one point. Remember when he's like all tan with the hat and he's like, we're going on an adventure.
It's so good. Like what? When they said they were bringing back Q, I was like, oh, thank God, he's gonna fix the series.
Q, just flick your fingers
everything.
and retcon that first season out of existence. Bring back Data. Undo the events of Nemesis. Just be like, pow!
Yeah.
I seriously thought they would end this season with him being like, look, we're gonna go back to Nemesis and undo all of that, especially since they announced season 3 and they at least had Data's voice in it.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, the preview for season 3 features Data.
And like all the cast. And
the entire cast from TNG. So I'm like, if you're bringing back Data, you better have an explanation of why Data's back when you just killed him in season 1.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, okay.
All right, so
Q is going to flick his fingers to bring him back, right?
Right. All right, let's finish up and then okay. Because I feel like we're getting really long. But anyways, so then Picard gets so it's love conquers all, hug, happy times. Then Picard gets teleported back to shown from the showdown from episode 1 aboard the Stargazer.
Yes, back to episode 1 where the Borg Queen is attacking, sucking energy out of everything.
And then the Picard stands down and allows the Borg Queen to take over the ship.
Yes.
But remember the Borg Queen that had the covered face? Turns out that was Agnes!
Dr. Girardi herself.
What?
Hottie Biscotti Girardi.
I don't think so. But why she couldn't explain herself before all of the tomfoolery took place and Picard auto-destructed the Stargazer was unknown.
Yeah, I don't know.
They just needed a reason to go to 2024 so you can learn about the dangers of ice and racism.
Yeah, racism bad.
Which we already know, but okay.
Racism evil.
Racism bad.
Static evil.
Ice bad.
Ice bad.
Yeah. So
come on, guys.
Wow. So that was a great use of our time. Anyway, so
10 episodes.
10 episodes to tell us that racism is
40
bad.
minutes. 45 minutes times 10.
Yeah. So then the Borg and Starfleet team up to stop the wormhole with the harmonized shield of friendship.
Yes.
So this was a good one. You came up with this one.
Yes.
That was
maybe the wormhole that was exploding was the death of a Q. Maybe. The Q that we all know and love. Maybe. The only thing that would make sense, right?
Yeah.
It's like a system-changing event occurring just as Q dies seems kind of line up.
And if anything, that's like probably the most brilliant storytelling. I'm
a Star Trek writer, guys.
One thought, seriously. But anyways, and then Agnes will remain at the wormhole to be its guardian, and she wants to join the Federation to, be like, we're peaceful now. See, aren't we nice?
Yes. So final scenes now, guys. Okay. Final scenes. Go ahead, Lydia.
Okay. So then Picard goes to the real Lars, who is still at
not fake Lars.
No, yes, he's still at the chateau and asks for a second chance.
Yes, he says something like time isn't circular, and we can't, ever get second chances with time, but maybe we can with people. and she's like, and she smiles, and they hold hands, and then the camera zooms out of where they're in the greenhouse room, but the way it zooms out makes it look like it's a church,
like a chapel, like
a chapel. And as it zooms out, it's like stretching longer than it really is to make it look like a chapel until it finally hits the sunroom area and then zooms out and flies out. And then is that it?
We see like the Milky Way and then like cuts.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
and then it goes bah, bah, bah,
yeah.
Whatever the
you can't use that music, it's not fair. It's some bullshit. So yes, so then Enterprise E with Worf as the captain never shows up.
Yes. Which would have been a good nod to Star Trek.
Would have shown that space friendship in the Shield of Harmonization would have helped, but
that would have been a good scene for them to show up where it's like, Admiral Picard, this is the Enterprise E reporting in with Worf as the captain, because that is the actual lore, guys. I'm sure a lot of people, anyone who's watching this video probably already knows Worf is the captain of the Enterprise E after Data is gone. Data was the captain of the Enterprise E.
Yeah.
But at some point, Data, I don't know if he retires or what, but Worf becomes the captain.
Can robots retire?
Well, technically, they killed him. They killed him. But before forced retirement, it looks like you're long overdue for retirement.
Yeah.
Before they killed him, right? Via the original plot is that Data took control of B4. You know B4, that android?
Yeah.
That was like him, but was like an earlier model.
Yeah.
Right? Data had transplanted his memories into B4, and that over a very long period of time, B4's circuitry upgraded itself, and Data came back as himself inside B4, right? And that he became the captain of the Enterprise E, and then the Enterprise E goes through lots of adventures, and then eventually Data retires for reasons I can't remember. Then Worf assumes captainship of this ship.
Yeah.
Right? And he is the captain of the Enterprise E, and so it would make sense that at this point Enterprise E appears here during the Shield of Friendship to be like, here's Worf at the helm of Enterprise E, since Worf is going to be in season 3 and you need some explanation of how these people all connect. It's a perfect point to be like, yo, there's Worf. There's Worf, boys.
Oh, shit.
And those who know him would be like, oh shit, it's fucking Worf.
Yeah.
And those who don't would be like, who's that guy?
Yeah.
And then in season 3, you elaborate, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, that brings us to the end of basically our review / summary of the plot.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. We obviously gave a lot of insight and review of the show as we went there, right? Yeah. So it's not like we stepped through the plot point by point, but also we kind of gave a review of what we thought of the story beats as they went on.
Yeah.
Now, overall, what do you say?
Boo! Boo! I hate it.
Out of a 10, Lydia, what do you give it?
No, it doesn't even deserve it.
1 to 10?
A minus.
Minus? A minus?
I don't know if that's real, but...
You give it a 0?
It's... Oh my god. Okay. I like seeing Patrick Stewart. I love it. And it was nice to see like Will Wheaton and Seven and like those are the people I want to see.
I like Seven.
Yeah.
She's not the best actress, but she's okay.
I know.
She's okay.
Yeah. I think that like I want to love it. I want to, but I cannot. Like everything in me is just rejecting it. I hate it. And it's not because it's a political message. I couldn't give a shit.
I agree with most of their political messages. It's like, treat people fairly.
Obviously.
Don't be a freaking a-hole to people. Yeah. Judge people based on their actions, not on their skin color or, affiliations or whatever, right? You judge them based on that person's actions.
Right. Yeah.
I agree with all that stuff. But the way they deliver it is so poor.
Yes. The writing is terrible.
They're literally like, racism bad, guys. And you're just like, I know.
Yeah.
I know. And the people who, like I said right near the start of this review, the people who agree with your message are the people watching the show.
Yeah.
So you don't need to hit us with racism bad, do it via an allegory. So at least we get a Star Trek tale with the lesson. Right? Like, that's the whole point. I didn't watch Next Gen to be told racism bad. I watched it for the space drama.
Yeah.
And you got the message with it.
Yeah.
You didn't literally just say racism bad, the end.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, okay.
And I didn't care about any of the characters at all.
Definitely not Raffi/Seven. Their relationship was like
forced and
then there's a scene where Raffi says, "We're the main couple. We're the mains. What does she say? Like, they're all B plot characters. Me and you, Seven, we're the big show, the primetime characters here." Right? And it's just like, oh my God, you Raffi, you're such a side character. I don't even care. I actually had to make sure I remembered your name for this review.
Yeah, it was just...
It's like, oh my God.
I hated the whole thing.
Eleanor was so bleh.
Yeah. Space Legolas.
Rios breaking every rule of like time travel possible.
Prime Directive.
He's even worse than Fry because he stayed behind.
He did become his own grandpa. Yeah, it's just so dumb. It was just, oh my God, all of it. I hated it so much, but I was so excited to see all the Whoopi Goldberg and Q. Q could have.
Q was like my favorite, and even seeing Q there in the final scenes, I'm like,
yeah.
I love that actor as Q. He really delivers it.
Yeah,
and you're just like, yeah, that is Q.
Yeah,
that is Q. And you're just like, wow, he's really good at what he does. That you can still feel like, oh my God.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Oh, my heart.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That made me well.
Whoopi Goldberg,
She was okay. No,
she was okay.
I just didn't like who they picked as her younger version.
I absolutely hated who they picked as younger Whoopi, because there wasn't even any like
Whoopi mannerisms, like nothing. It
no
was just...
mannerisms of Guinan. Well, okay, like young Guinan makes some remarks about capitalism and rich people, and it's like, dude, in the 1800s, you were hanging out with all the rich people with frou-frou, with your big fancy dress and your big giant hat. Yes. Being like, Mark Twain at the Regency Ball.
Right, yes.
He's trying to find out what Mr. Data's doing over there. It's like, holy shit. You can't make comments about that because you are with them, or you were hanging out with them, brushing elbows with the capitalists, right? And now you're like, I hate capitalism.
Yeah.
And it's like Guinan is like the worst person to deliver this message, because she was hanging with the capitalists.
Well, here's the thing, Kenny. If the writers gave a shit,
if they knew,
if they watched TNG, they would know this, but they don't. So I'm going to blame this entirely on the writing cast. They suck. They suck. Fight me in the comments. I don't care. I hate this series. I watch it because I love Picard and I love the stories from TNG. I wanted that in present day, like not present day. I did not want this in present day.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is like TNG was like made in like the 80s, right? Yeah. I just wanted it remade to like nowish. And like I don't care. Like I know racism is bad. It's all like so dumb. It's all so stupid. I'd give it like a 0 out of 10. What is your thing, Kenny?
Well, I'm along the same feelings as you. Now, far as a number rating, I don't know. 0?
Yeah, I'm just
1. 1.
I'm glad Patrick Stewart is still employed.
Yeah,
I'm glad he's
there
still
was
alive.
some talk about Patrick Stewart was given creative control on some level of this. I'm not sure how true that is, but if it is true, oh my God. Now, guys, I want to talk to you about something else, which is where I thought this whole season was going to go, right? In Star Trek Deep Space Nine, something takes place with Captain Sisko where he's sent back in time to the year 2024. The same year that this all takes place. And specifically, he gets sent to San Francisco.
Close
not
by to
LA. Not that far from LA. Now, Lydia, will you read this for us real quick?
Okay, so this is called the Bell Riots. Okay, and then so there's one thing I don't understand. How could they have...
Oh, don't worry about the quote.
Okay. All right, the Bell Riots were a pivotal series of events on Earth that took place September of 2024.
Right, the same year as the show takes place.
I think the show took place in April, and this takes place in September. I don't know.
But they should have just
kind of sandwiched them together, right? I know, because it would make sense. So, started in San Francisco's Sanctuary District A, they were named after protest leader Gabriel Bell. One of the most violent civil disturbances of all American history, the riots and subsequent crackdown resulted in the deaths of hundreds of Sanctuary District residents.
Yes, so sanctuaries in this era,
is it the ice cages?
Okay, let me read it to you. Sanctuary districts, okay? So this would have worked as a story. Yeah. Sanctuary districts was a section of a city designed for the homeless and financially destitute members of society in what is known as the United States of America during the 21st century. Okay,
relevant. Homelessness, relevant.
Homelessness, right?
Yeah.
And Star Trek Deep Space Nine touches on this. And it's a major event that leads to a lot of what takes place in the future and the reform that leads to no currency and the formation of the Federation, or Starfleet, the Earth faction of what later becomes the Federation, right?
Right.
But this is the basis for where Starfleet and it would make perfect sense because marry these things. Yeah. Like if you want to take like a racism message and mix it in there with the homelessness and all the other stuff, and it's touching on capitalism and stuff. The Bell riots, right? Yeah. Where it's touching on capitalism, where it's like you've got these poor people, and what happened? The story of the Bell riots is basically that they had all these poor people, and they're like, well, why don't we make a community for them? And they were well-meaning in the beginning, right? But then it became almost like treating people who were poor as second-class citizens, where they walled them off from the rest of the city, where they're like, there's all the poor people, get them in the sanctuary cities.
Inhumane internment camps.
Right, it almost became like internment camps, right? So yes. Anyways, that's where I thought it was going, is they were going to jump into this plot that really does already exist as part of Star Trek lore, called the Bell Riots. Captain Sisko was there, and it'd be the perfect chance to bring back another Star Trek. Oh, what was the guy who played Sisko? I can't remember. But they could have brought him back. Yeah. The captain from Deep Space Nine. Yeah. Right? Who punched Q. Yeah. And he could be like, I remember that guy. Yeah. He's the guy who punched me. Right. And it's Picard, why are you always protecting Q? Yeah. Don't be nice to Q. Q's an asshole. Yeah, yeah. Right? Like, it would have made so much more sense. Instead, they went with this other thing where it's
that would have been like, can you write for the show? Like, Jesus. Like, how? Wow. I mean, yeah. This would have been perfect.
Right? It's the perfect, like, if you're like, listen, we don't have a big budget, so we're going to have to film in present day. We're going to do very little sci-fi space stuff. We're going to do a little in episode 1, a little in episode 10, and in between, it's all going to be filmed in modern day because we just don't have the budget. Then, okay, you did that with this season. Why didn't you, throw in the lore that literally takes place in 2024? I'll tell you exactly why. They didn't know. Yeah. They didn't know. Just like they didn't know anything about, the Enterprise E and why Worf should have showed up as being the captain of it during the force field of friendship or any of the other things that happened that you're like, huh? Head scratcher. Yeah. They didn't know because they don't know anything about Star Trek.
Yes.
It's just some guys who are like, yo, I know that there is a ship with 2 things on it and that makes them fly through space. Let's go. Let's go. We don't really know anything about Picard. Is he James Bond? Is that what he's like? I don't know anything about Picard or any of the other characters. All I know is that it has something to do with space. Yeah. There's something called the Federation. There's Romulans. I don't know.
Some nerdy bullshit. Let's just write this.
Listen, we're going to use the Romulans the most instead of the Klingons, even though the Klingons were much more relevant in Star Trek lore, because they were conflicting with the Federation nonstop, and then they were really good friends, and then they were enemies again, and then they were really good friends again, and the Romulans were like this recluse race who used stealth and cloaking and all this shit, and the Federation had much more interaction with the Klingons, but the Klingons require a lot of face makeup. So
that requires money, Ken.
No, we don't want any of those guys. We just want Romulans because they just have pointy ears. That's much easier to do.
We can go get those at Michael's.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, we can make those prosthetics in like 5 minutes, okay?
Oh my god.
Doing Worf's face makeup? Nah. That takes too long.
Yeah.
Anyways, I would give this show a 0!
Yeah. Oh my god, I hate it. I want to love it. I do. I love TNG. I loved it so much. I thought
my head hurts.
It just like, and then it gives you like little like half bits. You're like, ooh, Picard's going into a speech. Okay, never mind, it's about nothing. You're like, ooh, Q's here. Okay, he's dying.
He's angry.
Ooh, Will Wheaton's here. Okay, he just fucked off. Ooh, there's like, ooh, Guinan is like, and she's like, even Guinan is supposed to be like very like thoughtful in like what she says.
She's like, supposed to be very, very
wise.
Clever. Yes, yeah. Wise is the correct word.
Yeah.
And like thought-provoking and being like, why do these things?
Yeah, you're
Captain?
like, whoa.
And it's like, I didn't think of it that way. Thank you, Guinan. Instead, it's just like,
it's like I say thing direct because people watching are idiots, and you're just like,
listen, the people who watch Star Trek are not your fan. You've got to make content for the people who watch your show.
Yeah.
The people who are into like action, like heavy action shows, do not watch Star Trek.
No.
All right? My brother does not watch Star Trek at all. He's like, that's the most boring shit ever. I don't want to watch that. He's into explodey action stuff, Thor, Iron Man, whatever, that type of stuff. I like that stuff too. Like I like the Avengers at least, but I don't like some of the like one-off movies. But he's like into 100% action. If I was like, yo, let's watch Picard, he'd be like, that is the stupidest shit ever. I don't want to see that. And it's like, yeah, but it's actually an action show. It's not actually a thought-provoking show. Like he is like, Star Trek is a thought-provoking show, and I don't want to be thought-provoked, right? I want to watch stupid action because that's what I like. I get my adrenaline rush off people, explosions and people diving out of.
Yeah.
Don't look at the explosion and walk away from it. That kind of shit, right? It's like, okay, well, guys, you're making the show for my brother, but he doesn't want to watch your show.
Yeah.
So make the show for the people who want to watch your show.
Yeah, I will pay you for stuff, please. And they're like, no, we don't want you.
Because
we want some demographic who doesn't even care about us.
Yo, guy down the road, do you like Star Trek? No. All right, what are you into?
Guns and lesbians. Okay, well,
all right,
we'll make a show.
All right, Picard, can you hold a pistol? No. Oh, damn it. All right, well, Picard, you're going to be a background character in your own show.
Yeah.
Like, did you feel like Picard for a show called Picard, he didn't really do much?
No.
Right? Yeah. It was like the show was about, it's like, okay, I totally get that you need to have more than one character be the main, but the show is called Picard.
Yeah.
Right? It's like Star Trek TNG was about the cast.
Yeah.
Because it was the next generation.
Yes.
This is the next generation after the generation of Kirk.
Yeah, and Spock and all that. Yeah.
Right? So this is the new generation of Starfleet members, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, and then there was Star Trek Voyager, Deep Space Nine, and all the people who lived on those places and did those things.
Yeah.
Now, this show is called specifically Star Trek Picard, and not a lot happens to do with Picard for the show to actually be called Star Trek Picard, other than he's the most important actor on set, is Patrick Stewart.
That's why they didn't have money, Kenny. They had to spend all of it on him.
Oh.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Yeah. Anyways, guys, I think that's going to wrap this up. We're actually at a 2-hour video, and I don't really plan on editing very much of this video.
Yeah.
Maybe just the part where we were like, what's that noise over there?
Yeah,
Anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to us rant about Star Trek for 2 hours, mostly negatively ranting.
Yeah.
We have lots of praise to give about old Star Trek.
Yes.
I think if you watch TNG, it's so inspirational in a lot of ways, right?
Yeah.
Even back then, they were touching on trans rights with the Riker episode where he falls in love with a trans person.
Yeah.
And, forced, what's that called when they try to make someone straight?
Oh yeah,
like rehab or something.
Pray the gay away type thing.
Yeah, it's touched on a lot of those things. Conversion therapy, right?
Yeah.
And it touches on those and why they're terrible, terrible things. And they were touching on it when nobody was touching on it, right?
Yeah. This was the 80s, right? Like that show was made
87 to 92.
Like when we were like
toddlers.
Yeah, so don't come at me in the comments saying like, oh, you guys are just old. It's like, no, I liked a show that was old because it had relevant stuff in it. It was very well made.
Like you didn't watch it until you were like 25.
Yeah, seriously. So it's just so like the people who like this show, I kind of wonder who you are.
Who are the people who like Picard? Like Picard. Star Trek Picard?
Who are you?
I think they're idiots. I think they're mostly idiots because they need to be told, they need to be bonked over the head with racism bad. Racism bad. Do you get it? Do you get it? Do you get it? I mean, come on, guys. This is like really obvious stuff. Treat people fairly and respectfully. If they're not harming anyone, who cares what they're doing? You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, this is very basic stuff.
Yeah.
And they can't even tell it through an allegory.
Yeah.
They can't tell it through like some space drama adventure where it's like, yo, Captain, the force fields are failing. We're trying to save this society from getting blown up by this asteroid that's going to collide with the planet. But we need to use a force field to do it. But in order to do that, we need to go to this planet and talk to this dude who is a racist against the people we're trying to save.
Yeah.
And we need to convince him that his racist values are bad so that he will give us the tech we need to save the planet from the asteroid that's going to crash to this planet.
Right.
And it's like, okay, that's a great episode. I just made that all up right now, by the way. But I like, guys, that is like, okay, that's an episode where you can be like, okay, racism bad, and here's how we're going to talk about it.
Yes.
Rather than just saying, guys, here's some Mexicans and here's ICE.
Yeah.
And he's getting tased because he's Mexican.
It's like, modern day. Do you get it?
Do you get it? Do you get it? It's like, guys, come on. I think like there's a quote where the writer Alex Kurtzman is being interviewed by Will Wheaton, and he says something along the lines of sci-fi always has its roots in real world issues. And it's like, yes, but that's not what you're doing.
No.
You're not writing sci-fi. This is not sci-fi. It's set in present day. It's just a drama.
This is a bad fan fiction. That's what this is.
Sci-fi would be my story where they're going to another planet to get tech to save the planet that the guy doesn't like because he's racist, but
it's just...
Do you get it?
It's hard. It's so hard to apply logic to this when it's just so dumb. I hated it. I hated it, and in fact...
It actually makes me fear for season 3. Yeah. Like, because it's the same writing staff. Not entirely the same writing staff, but like, if they didn't get TNG, they don't understand Star Trek, what are they going to do?
Yeah.
Because, guys, don't get me wrong, the cast of TNG is the best cast ever, I think, of Star Trek. Now, people will disagree and say, oh, it's the original. No, it's Deep Space Nine. Very few say it's Voyager, but whatever. Point being, excellent actors who delivered excellent content. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Now, they're not the writers.
Yeah.
The writers behind TNG were also excellent and creative and giving us very thought-provoking episodes that the actors were able to take that content and deliver excellent shows because the writers were excellent and they did well with their cast.
Yeah.
The cast was excellent too.
Yeah.
Now here we've got a case where we've got some good actors, some so-so actors, and nothing for writers.
It's kind of like, guys, you have to have good, like, a good writer cannot be a good actor, and a good actor cannot be a good writer. You know, sometimes
it's very rare.
We have our specialties, and like that, like the acting cast so good, the writing cast so good in TNG, right?
Yeah.
So like, Can you make that happen again, please?
Could you just find someone? And the sad thing is, it's already all been filmed, right?
Ew. Oh dear.
They filmed it in parallel. You know how like they filmed Lord of the Rings like 2 and 3 at the same time?
Yeah.
They did the same with this, where they filmed season 2 and 3 back to back, right? So season 3. There was a tweet from Gates McFadden just the other day where she said they've already done episodes 1 to 6, like post-production stuff, right?
Wow.
They haven't finished the entire season yet, but episodes 1 to 6, like she went and she watched them somewhere. So they've already like been edited into episodes, right? And so it's like, okay. And she's like, they're fantastic. And I'm just like, well, you would say that because you were the actor in the show.
I'm being paid.
But at the same time, it's like, oh God, please don't fuck this up.
Please don't fuck this up, please.
It's like you already did bad enough that you transplanted Picard into a robot body.
Yeah.
You took the B4 plot from Nemesis, which already had an ending written into it where Data takes over B4. B4 is a hollow shell, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like he's taking over someone's body.
No, I know.
B4 is a hollow shell that he was like transplanted into.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And they fumbled that plot of the B4 plot.
Yep.
And they fumbled the Worf being the captain plot.
Yep.
Because they just don't show him. They don't even talk about him. They don't even talk about the flagship vehicle or flagship starship of Starfleet is the Enterprise, right? Like Stargazer's a great ship, and Voyager's a great ship. But the flagship, which is like the pride and joy of Starfleet, is the Enterprise.
Yeah.
It's always been the Enterprise.
Yes.
So you think at some point they would mention the Enterprise, considering the captain of the Enterprise D and E is present and the main character of this show.
Yeah.
The captain of the D and E Enterprise. The E, the one that Worf is flying around out there,
yes,
never mentions the Enterprise.
Not important.
He just has a poster of the Enterprise D in his room. That's it. That's it. I don't even know what else to say, Lydia.
I don't think there is anything else to say. I feel like
I need a Vulcan mind melt to fucking stop this headache.
Get rid of it. Guys, let us know in the comments below.
What did you think? Thanks for hanging out, listening to us rant endlessly about TNG versus Picard, basically.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry, I guess.
Yikes.
If you really enjoyed this, I think you're a dummy.
Wait, no, you can enjoy our content, but if you enjoyed Picard season 2, I don't know.
I don't know.
And please explain as to why, because maybe I missed it. Like, were you supposed to be high while you're watching this? I have no idea.
Maybe we should have got like wasted and then watched it.
I hated it so much. But anyways,
there's just so many plot holes.
It's just awful. It's awful.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
Like Swiss cheese.
I shouldn't have said you're a dummy if you liked season 2. That's impolite. But
what we mean to say is, please express in the comments below what exactly you liked about it, because we're very confused. All right, guys. I don't know if is there anything else to say, Ken? Yikes.
Yeah, people who do enjoy this Star Trek are the people who are like, they post online on Twitter that they're like, what an amazing crew, what an amazing diverse cast and stuff like that. The cast is so diverse and so amazing. And it's like, guys, the cast has always been
you should
diverse
watch TNG.
And all those things. It's like, okay, my head hurts. Oh my god. Lydia, wrap this up.
Okay, guys, let us know in the comments below. What did you think of our discussion?
Do you hate us? Do you like us? Are you in the middle? Do you want to punch me out?
Let me know in the comments below. If you like
Especially if you're going to punch me out, let me know. Okay?
Yeah, let us, just so we know that it's coming. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. Give us a like and a share. Likes are very important for our channel because it gives our tiny channel exposure, and we need your help to defeat the Borg Queen.
Yes,
Agnes.
And especially now that it's Agnes. Oh my god, guys. Why was she smiling in so many scenes? Why is she like... The weirdest part was she would go like this. She'd be like...
it was a little
like
much.
She's giving a speech to the Borg Queen about love and friendship and peace and let's bring... And then her resting position, I think just as an actress, she just assumes that smiling is a good thing. And it's like, but not in a serious scene. It's like,
yeah.
Everyone around me is dying. You know Lenny? You know that Lenny one? I was like, all right,
my life.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm sorry. I got another rate. Thanks for watching, guys. Smash like, subscribe, join the Discord so you can yell at me about why I'm wrong, or pop over to Twitch, super_dorkalicious, where Lydia is streaming Tuesdays, Thursdays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. She does VTubing, which we also developed ourselves in-house.
He did all of it.
Yes, it's very hard work, and we put a lot of effort into it. So if you want to check it out, we really appreciate you even just checking it out.
Yes. Okay, guys. It's been fun dorking out with you. It's been Lydia.
Kenny G.
All right. Bye-bye.
Adios.
Hey guys, this is Lydia. If you like what you see, hit that like button as it helps our channel gain exposure. Also consider smashing subscribe. If you like our content, it would really mean a lot and helps our channel grow. If you want to interact with us, leave a comment down below or follow us on Twitch at super_dorkalicious. We'll see you next time.